dropping in 100 gems saying more doors.
Yeah,
That is,
thanks, Geonaut. Appreciate it. That's awesome.
yeah, thanks so much for kicking that off. Wait a second, Dark is playing Protoss.
Somebody called that in chat. SC2 Lol said Dark's going to choose toss
Oh my
here.
gosh,
Oh,
I
Dark off
thought
racing. Let's
I
go.
thought we were gonna have a ZVZ, man. What happened? Um,
Dark was like, ZVZ sucks. I'm going to do something else.
Dark says bamboozle. Uh, gosh, the Protoss mindset is really infectious, isn't it?
We had Clem going Protoss at Home Story Cup.
Yeah, Clem, Rainer, and now Dark. So here we have him in the bottom left playing Protoss. It's Gosu Crew's Dark. I believe it's Gosu Crew. I might have to double check that.
And in the top right, it's our dude, he's Shin.
Yeah, so I was getting ready for a knife fight in a phone booth ZVZ. I didn't even process this, that it was a possibility. So Dark is gonna try and pull a fast one. We're probably gonna see some dirty, cheesy Protoss stuff. These two are chatting away. Unfortunately, I don't read Korean, so we'll just have to assume they're talking about the lovely weather. And then we've got Dark going for a probe scout. I do wonder if Shin genuinely noticed whether Dark was playing toss, or then he's like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, he knows now. I mean, I don't know. This build works for against Zerg or Protoss. He'll be fine.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Not much variation for Zerg. And it's going to be interesting to see whether Dark's ZVP is, or well, PVZ I guess, is up to task playing Protoss. And the fact that he chose this in this matchup, I think, really is interesting because, for example, Clem really likes to play Protoss against Terran, so it makes sense that the Zerg player would like to play Protoss against Zerg when off racing.
Yeah, SC2Lol in chat said is translated for Shin, and Shin said if Dark keeps picking Toss, I will choose Toss too.
Thank you very much for that transition. That would be just comical if we had a PvP between these two. Making Rogue the only Zerg in the cup. Okay, so Dark's Probe Scout moving on in. Just keeping tabs on Shin, which is a very wise idea. And a Twilight Council from the Protoss Zerg. Nexus going on up, Adept shading out across the map.
Going for that Twilight. Wonder if we see a Resonating Glaives play out of Dark. He's like, I hate playing against this. Let's see how Shin does against it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, there it is. Resonating Glaives. Let's go.
I 100% approve of the strategy by Dark. If you're in a best of 5, I think you got to bring out a Glaives build at least like once as the Protoss.
Totally. Totally, at least once. And Shin's got to know that, dude. He's got to know. What's he doing to deal with this? Nothing really.
Yeah.
You can hold a Resonating Glaives attack with Lings and Queens. It's extremely difficult. I'd love to see some Banelings, a Roach Warren, one of those two things tossed up here from Shin starting soon.
I mean, knowing is half the battle, but Shin really isn't scouting Dark. So he is unaware what's going to be coming his way. We'll see if this Overlord's going to dive on in to get the big scout off or not. I mean, you can see a Robo and a Twilight, and that will pretty much give it away. So the Overlord for now, it's just padding south, not making the dive in.
No,
Shin
really, again, doesn't need to, but man, Lings and Queens alone are really tough.
Yeah. We do have Shin so far not making any more drones. He throws up a Roach Warren, so he seems to have an inkling that this is coming his way. There goes in that scouting Overlord. It's going to see that Prism being produced, and that is really going to give this away. Now, a Stalker does get warped in by Dark to kill the Overlord, but Adepts are shading across the map, so this is not going to be a mystery, really, as to what's coming Shin's way. Stalker will kill the Overlord. Not going to supply block Shin. He's already anticipating that loss. And here go these Adepts with Resonating Glaives, and the 4-gate production is kicking off.
Yo, roaches coming in, bunch of lings coming in, enough to make that shade cancel. What's up, Merset in chat? How's it going? Welcome to Shin versus Dark PvZ. Dark is playing Protoss. Shin is playing Zerg against a Resonating Glaive build. And attacking those queens. Oh, then getting surrounded by lings. We got a little bit of queen support here. And man, so fast taking down these lings with Resonating Glaives. And the roaches show up. And I think it is held at this point, man. 38 armor supply to 19, favoring Shin here. And he has rebuffed Dark's Resonating Glaive attack.
Yeah,
well done.
Dark's Protoss might not be as lethal as his Zerg as... I mean, this build, it's fairly straightforward, but even the little things we're not really seeing too much of from Dark. Like, he seems to be letting his Prism be idle for a minute, maybe not poking as much with his Adepts as he could have, and now he is going to be that 2-base Protoss trying to defend against a Zerg that's just been spamming units. And so there could be a counterattack from Shin, or he can just macro it out, which he does seem to fire up some drones and a lair.
Yeah, making a few roaches, got a couple Ravagers here, going for an Evolution Chamber for an upgrade or two. Probably a Carapace upgrade would be my guess here. Immortal production has begun from Dark. Good scouting at the third base with a single Ling, getting a probe kill. Yes, well done, Mr. Ling, and bam. Shot in the face by an Adept and died. But good scout, good probe kill. Glial Reconstitution getting fired up here from Shin. Just, I feel like this is more of a scouting thing with these Adepts now.
Oh, absolutely. Just a scouting thing. Keeping the Zerg back at home so the Protoss can try and build up a little bit. We're going to see whether Dark will be going for some follow-up timing attack, potentially on his 3 bases, but we'll see how much he's actually going to macro or not. He does have this Robo on the way, so maybe he's just going to add a Colossus or 2 to this composition, then go for it, or maybe he's going to play it out a little bit longer. We do have Adepts chasing down this 4th base that's building. However, they're Adepts, so they're not going to be able to do much to the actual building. Then there is Ravagers and Roaches on point for Shin in order to chase these Adepts away. And Dark's got to be careful with that Prism as Queens start shooting away on it. So far, though, no actual HP lost, all just shields that's been regenerating.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to die here unless a Spire actually gets thrown down. We could chase that Work Prism down with a Corruptor or something, but... So we've got a Sentry Adept Immortal build here from Dark as Protoss as usual. Shin's an incredible Zerg player, Merchet. And good dive in with a Changeling there. He sees the Disruptors being built, and that is a splash choice splash choice from Dark here against a Zerg player. Baneling Nest coming in. We've got 8-9 Roaches plus 1 attack for those Roaches, and Ravagers is finishing up here. Blinks being researched here by Dark. Got 104 army supply from Shin and 64 for Dark, but Roaches and Ravagers are very, very supply heavy. And here we go. We got ourselves some force fields going down, and then being shot down here by Corrosive Bile. Hold the wall against those lings, man. And yeah, Shin says...
Yeah, so far, that's actually quite an incredible defense by Dark. Able to get some good force fields down. He's a Zerg master, so... He absolutely knows the correct way that Protoss can dismantle Zerg from the inverse. And then he does a great job of shutting down the secondary attack by Shin with the few lings.
Actually did a thing. Amazing. These Adepts got some kills.
They did.
Very proud of them. And again, the fact that this War Prism is alive is annoying to me. Like, build a Spire. Do something.
He's Shin,
Get rid of that War Prism threat.
He doesn't like to build a Spire. If it ain't Roach Ravager, he ain't hearing it. Now the Protoss player, Dark, continues to build up his force. Supply isn't actually looking that bad for the toss. And Shin is just continuing to mass these units, these lings, these roaches. He is adding in centrifugal hooks, so banelings will be an option down the line. Meanwhile, Dark has yet to commit to a 4th base, so... He's either got to attack soon or get up a 4th soon.
Yeah, he's moving across right now. Oh, it's the stream spelled backwards. The stream. What's up, man? Maybe the stream 1 or something will be a little bit less confusing. And in comes Shin to the 3rd base. But man, Dark is parked right here on the high ground. Baneling's rolling in on the backside. Roach is on the front side here. Guardian Shield being popped. Ooh, an Immortal is going to go down here. Corrosivile not finding much purchase here. The Banelings are trying to get inside the mineral line, but man, being soaked into an Immortal here. Yeah. And pushing in to get a 99 to 35 army supply here. The Nexus is going to go down. Probably. Yeah. If he target fires, it's going to go down, but he's more fighting against the stuff in there, and it doesn't matter. Shin gets the win in game number 1.
Even if like, Dark was able to save that Nexus, he was completely dead. Very well done by Shin, knowing how to dismantle a Protoss player. And Dark, while he's very darn good, his Zerg is a lot better than his Toss, as we saw.
Yeah, 100% there. Dark did not quite look like, you know, an incredibly high-level best Protoss player in the world there, but OFFRACING, in all fairness. But that final attack was amazing. So, well done, game number 1. Let's get in game number 2 here. Let's see if Dark changes it up a little bit. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Resonating Glaives in 2025 or 2024, to be honest, but, you know, you get those attacks, and sometimes they work. If they don't work, it can be hard to recover from a complete fail, which is what that was, effectively. Did not get any damage done to the economy, and that really needs to damage the economy from the Zerg player to get a victory in the long run. So we're on Amygdala for game number 2.
It's like the players are chatting a little bit, as Shin wasn't memeing when he said, if Dark's playing Toss, I'm going to play Toss.
SC2 lol translates, Dark said, I am very angry with the Toss. Well, he's going Toss again in game number 2. Let's see what we get. Anywho, Karupin is here waiting for Gumio, the Towel Terran. Gumio's going to be a ton of fun. Can't argue with you being excited and ready for him, that's for sure. Looks like Dark is now ready. Shin's ready. Moving on in, you hear the boop, boop, boop. That means Starcraft is coming. That means you are ready to be excited. So again, Amygdala, game number 2, PvZ. Dark OFFRACING as Protoss. What's going to do this time? Maybe some carriers. Maybe some carriers.
Maybe some carriers in a PvP. That would be quite the tall order.
It happens sometimes. But yeah. All right, man. What the heck is going on here? These guys. These crazy people. Top right. He's still Protoss. He's red. It is Dark. What's up, Phoenix?
And in the bottom left, it's Shin. So we are probably going to have a very dirty, discombobulated PvP coming our way, if I had to guess.
Yeah, 2 Zerg players both OFFRACING as Protoss in a PvP. I imagine these guys don't play a lot of PvP. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they probably don't have many PvP games under their belt.
Probably not.
No, but let's see what they get. I mean, the PvP opening has been standard for about 15 years now. Effectively, you want to go 2-gate with the Cyber Core. From there, just pretty much don't make Zealots and you'll be fine. So as far as the opening goes, everybody knows what that is. From there, it gets tricky, though, right? Do you want to make Disruptors? Do you want to get Colossus out? Do you want to go Mass Phoenix in a PvP? That's pretty viable. Do you want to go some kind of a carrier shenaniganry? That's pretty good, too, with good control. Stalkers are the backbone, for sure. There we go. Cyber Core coming in both sides. Both players working on that second gate. Okay. And let's see who expands first.
Whether
the stream says PvP is his least favorite mirror matchup. Woohoo!
Yeah. PvP, I honestly enjoy watching it. It's just chaotic and crazy. And they're like, PvP can be very, very close. Like, when it's close, it's really exciting to watch. So we'll see it if anyone's going to go for a timing attack. It's that awkward dynamic. If your opponent is on one base and you're sitting on one base, you're like, do I expand? Do I attack? It really is tough to say.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, it can be close. Can come down to, like, I have one more stalker than
Oh,
you.
exactly.
And all of a sudden, it snowballs into a massive loss. So, can be very, very tricky.
We've got Shin tossing down a pylon on Dark's side of the map. Dark is actually going to keep his adepts at home just to try and kill that pylon as quick as possible and then throw up a Nexus on the low ground. So an expansion coming from Dark, and Shin is also expanding. So these guys are actually playing a respectable PvP.
Sure looks like it.
That is not what
And
I
yeah,
expected.
Phoenix, they're, no, very, I mean, yeah, good call. Good call not to expect that. But yeah, Phoenix, there's not a Matcherino for this event. We are just trying something new. Soup is trying something new where if the viewership goes ahead and donates a certain amount of gems here on the channel, then they will turn that into extra money to toss at the players in the prize pool. So they're just kind of trying something new. We'll see if it works out here. We already got some gems gifted here by Geonaut, 100 gems earlier. He said it was 500 is what we're going for.
Yeah, so basically the way that it works is that if we hit 500 gems, then we're going to, or Soup is going to throw in an extra $50 to the prize pool, and it's basically the same contribution amount as if you put it towards the Matcherino. So far there's been 100 gems donated, so we're trying to get another 400 to increase the prize pool for this event. And there is a counter which didn't seem to increase, so I am looking into that to make sure we get that counter working for the events. But right now we're basically 100 out of 500. Okay, we've got Blink on the way for Dark, a little bit slower than the Blink of Shin. Both these Toss have got a natural Nexus up. Dark's is slightly more saturated, but nothing too significant, and both of them with a Forge on the way.
Loving the sentries here. They've got some kills. They're chasing away hallucinated Phoenix. It's incredible.
Yeah, the sentry buff against Protoss was a really nice buff, I found. Or I think anyway. Making the sentry better in PvP definitely wasn't a bad thing. We've got a very bold third Nexus on the way for Shin. Dark is going to see it with his hallucinated Phoenix. As both these Toss just constantly are throwing these out. We've got Shin going for a cheeky Dark Shrine in the upper left.
Yes. Yes, cheeky Dark Shrine. Let's mix this PvP up. Let's see if that gets scouted here. I don't know. I mean, hallucinated Phoenix are running around. They are fast. They are good at scouting. But he's going to have to head up there. Phoenix gifting 250 gems. Let's go. Dog Tato gifts 100 gems. Quick, do some math. 450 gems have been donated already, if my math is correct.
I believe that is some correct math.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, thanks so much to everyone for supporting these events as always. That contribution is going to be forwarded to the player, and you have to be kidding me. Dark goes for a Dark Shrine in the bottom right. Man, these Zerg-turned Protoss players are just ridiculous. What, 2 Dark Shrines? Now, Shin's is much quicker, and Shin is also building a Robo. Dark has yet to start his own Robo, so he could potentially just die to the DTs, and he probably will, because it's only about seconds away from completion. And no Robos
they're both
building.
like, man, invisible men are good. They kill me. They kill my drones. I'm going to go kill some probes with them. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get some justice out here.
Shin at least has the thought to be like, DTs. I guess I should be ready for those. Dark, on the other hand, he is just living life, doing his thing. He's like, oh yeah, making gateways and keeping my money down and getting my +2 on the way. Unfortunately, the invisible men are going to show up in his base, and he's probably just going to GG out, if I had to guess.
Top left scout. Dark does see the Dark Shrine up there, but dude, DTs are here. One inside the main base, going for that mineral line. Hacking away at the Nexus. I love that, dude. But yeah, I mean, trying to throw up some cannons here, and Dark goes ... I can translate that one, SC2 Fool.
No
Oh my
robo
gosh.
built, no robo started for Dark. GG. Shin is going to take it just like that. Well done.
No detection at 7 minutes and 20 seconds is a pretty solid oversight, I would say, in any matchup.
Yeah,
No matter what you're
definitely
playing,
so.
that's enough time for Cloak Banshees, enough time for Lurkers, enough time for DTs. Yeah, you're going to want some of that. Ah, where did I go? I am gone. I am
sorry
back.
about that.
We did it.
OBS/Discord is doing that thing in which it's like, hey, you minimize that window, the camera shuts off. Which is weird because it doesn't always do that, so I need to look more into that.
Hey, what's up, Bovine Slime? And what's up, Phoenix? Gifting 50 gems straight up. There you go. Hit the goal. 50 bucks goes into the prize pool for these players. We hit the goal in like, how long has this been running? An hour?
not even half an hour, and
yeah,
realistically only about 15 minutes of games. However, we do have many more games coming, as after this clowny best of 5, we're going to be having what I assume will be a Terran versus Zerg. I'm not going to hold my breath, though, between Gumiho and Rogue.
At this rate, it's probably going to be a TVT. Yeah. That'll morph into a ZVZ from there.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe we'll get a ZVZ between Rogue and Gumiho or something. Or they'll both play Protoss.
Ah, good times. Good times, good times. All right. Looks like players are chatting back and forth a little bit here. Yeah, Falcon community is here. Yeah, Dollarville's here. Bovine's here. The stream is here. Twitch viewers of mine joining the soup as well. They're excited for the potential Brood War stuff we're going to commentate.
Yeah.
Starcraft 2 is awesome. Yeah, we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, thank you so much for supporting the event that will go towards the Players Phoenix. And, of course, Geonat and Dog Tato. We are loading on into our third match of the day in a best of 5 that, while Clowny has had a bit of has a clear leader right now, playing Terran in the bottom right, it is Shin.
And at the top left, it's a red Protoss player. You may know him as Dart. Incredible.
These two are definitely chatting away. Now, I want to say, I get the feeling that Dark's Protoss is better than Shin's Terran.
Ooh, that's an interesting theory.
But I have really no idea. Dog Tato says, meanwhile I'm watching while working on a bot. A StarCraft 2 bot? Or what sort of bot? I'm guessing a StarCraft 2 bot. We've got a Nexus on the way for Dark, so going for a Gateway Expand. Meanwhile, Shin is going for, well, it looks like it'll be a Reaper Expand. As I say that, though, pardon me, it's actually double gas, so definitely not a Reaper Expand.
Turns out, probably not. Interesting. Yeah, factory here, ready to rock. Let's see what the probe is doing. Probe looks like it's going to throw down a pylon in that location. Maybe block an expansion or hiding to come in for a second round of scouting once the Reaper's gone. Oh man, that feels like a pylon patrol to me. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Might just be looking to be a nuisance and potentially harass this SCV build in the CC. Shin is being a good little Terran and scouting out around his base. However, Dark's going to see the CC go up with this probe. And yeah, we'll see if the probe is actually going to attack that SCV. It could be a good opportunity to get a bit of a delay.
Yeah, might as well. What else are you doing? Going back and forth? Honestly. Come on, probe.
There it goes, coming on in. However, it is just going for the scout. See what the Terran's up to, seeing the 1-1-1. Meanwhile, we've got the Adept repulsing the Reaper.
And Probe harassing
there
the
it
SCV
is.
might get it to pull off just for a second here. Yes, does pull off, and delay on the second base is accomplished.
Yeah,
Here by Dark. Man, this is messing my brain up. I'm like, Dark, but that's a Protoss. Yes, I know. Say it anyway.
The Reaper kills that probe, so a slight delay by Dark with that probe. The Protoss player has got a Stargate on the way. We'll see if it's going to be an Oracle or Phoenix. Oracle will be the tech of choice. And now we've got 2 Adepts going to be pushing Shin a little bit. However, the Protoss does have the Terran, pardon me, does have a Cyclone done and gets a lock on one of those Adepts.
Good shove away. Man, Cyclones are so good at this. They're so good at dealing with anything that harasses. What's up, John Solo? SC2 Low translates and says, Shin said, I'd like to see Zerg play, or Dark play Zerg. And if Dark doesn't take out the Zerg, I'll be a different race. So basically Shin's like, hey, if you play Zerg, I'll play Zerg. But if you're not playing Zerg, I'm going to do different stuff.
Yes, Dark was the one who initiated this tomfoolery.
Yes. All of these shenanigans, and Shin's doing fine with it. With 3 separate races so far, Shin's kind of a monster today. Oracle comes in. The old Cyclone is nowhere to be seen. These are already bruised up as well, which makes them easier targets. 3 SCVs go down for the Oracle. That's a little more than expected, but the dropship's boosting into the main. We've got Marines. We've got a Cyclone here. And, oh man, taking down that pylon would be pretty amazing. Phoenix can't do much against this. What else do we have? A couple of Adepts. That's not going to be particularly amazing here either. Not with the Cyclone, but decides to pull it out anyway. Maybe worried about getting lifted off by the Phoenix and killing the probe down here for a potential 3rd base from Dark as well.
Yeah, that's a very mature decision by Shin just to get his probe kills and get on out of there. Dark's focusing on the defense, but no, that's quite nice by Shin. Keeping those units alive, heading on home. We'll see if he can potentially catch this Oracle as it crosses the map. The Cyclone was almost on track to find that. However, there still is potential as the Oracle's coming into the natural base. 1 Cyclone locks on. Is there a second lock on? It's close. Yes, there is. So Dark gonna... Oh, but somehow the lock on gets broken and the Oracle stays alive, just barely.
Yeah, impressive. Bit of luck there, I would say, from Shin. He's making tanks, continuing to pump out Marines here. The Phoenix count continuing to increase. For Dark, man, I'd love to see a turret in this mineral line in the natural base.
Viking secures the kill.
Phoenix running from the Marines. Just enough Marines to be scary here. Oh, another Adept dies. Army value 33 to 26 in favor of Shin. And here comes another push. Phoenix ready to maybe try to lift up a tank and pick it off. Adepts get a shade into the main base. The door was open. A couple Marines are not going to be enough. Whatever here. Bam! Another Cyclone does take down a Phoenix here. A lot of Adepts inside the main base. SCVs getting pulled. Adepts shading into the natural as an exit strategy here because, yes, they do get murdered by Cyclones pretty easily, as most things do.
Yeah, Shin decided to turn around when he himself was planning on getting aggressive. Dark's counter-aggression made him retreat, which, honestly, for Dark, I think is a good thing, as the Protoss player really just has Phoenix and those gateway units. Phoenix do pick up some SCVs and a Viking, and Shin is still just sitting back at home, investing in a 3rd command center, getting out Stim +1 and Combat Shield, which was not his initial intention. He was planning on either killing Dark or getting some damage done with that move out. Now he's forced to go into a bit of an awkward macro situation. And the fact that Shin is still sitting back at home is really important for Dark because, like, if we look at the armies right now, it's 19 Marines, 2 tanks, and 3 Cyclones. Dark still only has Gateway units and Phoenix to potentially defend against any attack. He's a ways away off charge, so it really is a good thing that Shin was not able to make that move out happen and hasn't decided to try and move out again. It's like we have Phoenix coming on in, lifting up a siege tank, gonna kill that surprisingly quick for the low damage Phoenix. However, Marines are able to save the second one.
Ooh, Templar Archives getting thrown up here. A little bit of Psy Storm with his higher Marine count would be nice from Dark.
Dark
Charge
knows.
finishing up from the Protoss too. Huge fan of that as well here.
Yeah, off-racing Zerg may have a bit of a hard time dealing with Psystorm as the Terran, so I do like that choice from Dark. The Protoss player looks like he'll be securing up a 4th base relatively soon. +1 armor on the way. And is it going to be Psystorm or just Archons?
I'm gonna Archons when there are ghosts running around. I'm gonna vote Psystorm.
Yeah, I mean,
Not that we see any ghosts, mind you.
yeah, no ghosts yet. But Protoss, like, I've watched quite a few Max Packs games recently, and some other European Protoss, and they just don't even build Psystorm anymore. It seems, because I guess just because ghosts are so prevalent. They rely on Colossus and Disruptors as their splash. We've got Shin coming on in with his Cyclones, getting some lock-offs on Morphing Archons. They do stay alive, though, which is very important. The Terran player is looking to get aggressive. Mass Marines, Cyclones, and a couple of Mines against whatever Dark has, which is Charge Lots, Mass Phoenix, and a few Archons sprinkled in. Mines going off. Phoenix are shooting down the Medivacs, forcing Shin to retreat.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought those Marines were doing pretty well. Then they got picked up and boosted out of there.
Yeah, there was just a bit too much Protoss, I guess, for him to stand his ground. And Shin is still just macroing away. He's on 5 racks, I believe. Yeah, 5 racks. 3 base Terran production, but nothing else really in sight. He does have the Ghost Academy done. There's the first Ghost being built. Right around the time Dark actually does invest in that Psystorm tech.
Yeah, there it is. He saw those Marines. He was like, dude, that is such a tempting target for Psystorm. It is the best thing you can storm on the Terran side of things, SCVs and Marines. Charge Lot swinging down that right side to the 3rd base of Shin, knocking down some rocks here. Shin trying to attack into the 4th base of Dark. Nice, oh, beautiful splash damage, thinning out that Zealot HP at least a little bit.
Okay, Shin
and
poking in.
Stutter Step, there you go. Charge Lot count whittled down a little bit here. Nothing dealing with these Zealots at the 3rd base whatsoever. 6 SCVs go down. The Phoenix getting murdered as they're flying over here. Lifting and killing a siege tank there is always nice. And Phoenix getting hit by Vikings at the same time.
Dark gets himself... Like, he went for a play there, activating the mine so it exploded onto Shin's own units. And then using that energy overcharge in order to give himself full energy High Templar that can drop 2 Psystorms. And I gotta say, though, I really love the way that Shin is playing this, because, like, he invested in a bunker and his mine at the 3rd base to help deal with Zealot run-bys. Like, I feel like a lot of off-racing players would actually skip something like that don't main Terran. So the fact that he went for that is very cool. He lands beautiful EMPs, hitting all the High Templar as well.
Yeah, these Archons are low on HP. The Ghost trying to get some snipes off as well. Those Archons getting healed up by a shield battery a little bit. Bringing their HP back in. Widowmine shots getting huge hits there too. 79 to 45 army supply. Shin is very close to closing this out.
Yeah, the Phoenix were late to the party to help out. They could definitely help. Psystorm gets dropped. Shin is pulling the boys now. Realizing how all in he is. Dark just needs to hold on. Drops a huge Psystorm on a lot of those SCVs. Another Psystorm going down. Shin's bio is very stimmed. The Terran player all of a sudden is just withering, and losing all those SCVs means he has no backup plan for this push.
Wow, yeah, suddenly he didn't attack with the SCVs. He sent the SCVs by themselves while his army was holding back. The SCVs all got massacred for no value.
Yeah, and GG.
Oh, I don't think pulling the boys there was the right maneuver.
No, I
Good
mean,
EMPs, but just couldn't follow up with it.
He just didn't have a follow-up plan to that tomfoolery.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Whew, all right, nice defense there. EMP did get tossed out on the Archons, but the shield batteries healed a lot of that up for sure. So we're going to hop into our next match here. Thanks, everyone, for the support. I mean, we are Looking good on that 500 gem goal. You guys hit it so fast.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny. It doesn't actually update the goal here. So we'll get that figured out.
We will. I'm trying to take a look at that, but also observe and run the stream, so it may have to be fixed in the next one. But yeah, let's see.
What's up? Too grateful to be hateful. The boys did certainly die. Yeah, definitely feel like going all in there. Look, man, and again, I don't think I've ever seen a Terran player pull the boys, send them in by themselves, and then try to follow up with the army after that. It's a conjoined effort. Everyone needs to be working together for that to really push through, so kind of just screwed it up.
Yeah, just 1 second, please. I'm going to see if I can get that working.
Yeah, sounds good. Phoenix is like another $50 for another $500 donated. Maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah,
Talk
we
to
didn't plan for
the higher ups.
We didn't plan for anything past that, but we will discuss that if we hit the goals. Just making sure both players are ready, and they are. So we're going to load on into that. And yeah, I'll see if I can get that widget working, but might have to figure that out at the next event or something like that.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine. We're here on ley lines for game number 4. Dark stays alive. He's playing Zerg. Oh, and Shin's playing Protoss. But Shin, I thought you said you would play Zerg if Dark played Zerg. Well, the shenanigans continue here.
They definitely do.
Ley lines.
With a lead to burn, so maybe that's why he's feeling comfortable playing Protoss. In the bottom left, it's Shin. Let me make sure I switch that scene over, because I definitely forgot.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that is good.
And then in the top right, playing Zerg. For the first time, it's Dark. Oh boy. So, I mean, if I was putting money on this, I would say Dark probably has a massive advantage here.
Probably.
His ZVP is insane. Shin's PVZ is probably not similarly insane. The stream, I'm in Mordor because this is my Discord call background. Because I have the whatever special paid version of Discord is. Nitro, I believe it is. I can set any GIF to be my background from a ginormous list of it. So that's what I've chosen for now. I think it looks cool. Yeah, the stream's in on it. Stream likes what he sees.
Okay. So, Shin's like, I can't beat Dark's Protoss with Terran. Maybe I can beat his Zerg with Toss.
Sounds like a plan. I like it a lot. Really feels like Shin just is interested in perhaps getting us to a game 5 today. But, you know, I've been wrong before. We'll see what Shin's going to pull out of his bag to try to take down Dark's Zerg.
Maybe more DTs, who knows?
Yeah, you know what? DT's maybe better in this matchup, potentially, than against Protoss. I don't know. Maybe not. They're pretty good in Protoss PvP.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to beat that previous match.
Adept on the way for scouting purposes. Shin knows how to do that. Like, he's got the 1-gate expand timing build order down through the first couple minutes anyway. There's the Stargate, which is very normal as well. Now, from here, player choice comes into play, right? Because there's no real right answer for what you build out of that Stargate first. Void Ray, Phoenix, and Oracle all have their uses, are all very good for different reasons.
Yep, now.
I think he's going to go for Void Ray.
Oh, a Void Ray would be very cool. Like, just go for some double Stargate shenanigans or something. Like, Shin right now is probably running through all the games in his head in which he's like, what do I lose to?
Yeah.
Like, how do I lose? I need to do what the guys that beat me do.
I haven't seen this in a while, but I feel like a charged lot Void Ray kind of a play would be kind of awesome to cast, at least. Yeah.
I'd be there for that. We do have an Oracle on the way from Shin. We'll see how well his control is going to be. We'll see whether Dark has all his timings correct after flip-flopping between the races. Or I guess not really flip-flopping. Dark's just been playing toss. It's like the Stalker of Shin is going to get caught by Dark Slings, and Adept's going to come in and try and save it. It will go down, though. So that is a massive win for Dark, as now there's no Stalker alive to shoot his Overlord. And Dark immediately knows, with getting that now he has a license to scout for free. Unless Shin makes the costly investment in another Stalker, a Phoenix, something like that. The Protoss player is going for a third Nexus already, so very quickly timed.
Yeah, Dark's just happily droning up, couple lings here and there, getting spores up to deal with the Oracle that he knows exists. He knows there's some Stargate stuff happening. So yeah, drone, throwing up a +1 melee attack, which to me indicates a lot of Ling Bane here in the early to mid game, which can be pretty good. Force fields are going to be a big deal here. Twilight Council coming in from our guy Shin. Charge, probably the standard answer. Blink is also pretty good in this matchup as an Overlord gets picked off, and it is about even army supply. Not a lot going on there. 50 to 46 workers in favor of Dark.
Yeah, nothing too significant. Shin is playing the way that someone like Hero would play. Sans maybe a little bit of Oracle harassment. As, look at that, Blink follow-up, Oracles to give the toss map control. Revelation to kill some creep tumors does miss one of those tumors. Like, oh, huh, they seem to die a bit faster when a Protoss is killing my tumors. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, Baneling Nest, Lair, Centrifugal Hooks coming in here. This is going to be a lot of Lings and Banes. Maybe a little bit Queens on defense here. Not sure we're going to try to get some Queens across the map necessarily, but man, Oracles on defense against Speedlings are kind of amazing.
Yeah, they actually got to pop that Pulsar Beam, and it is a little bit late for Shin, so Dark is able to grab 2 probes. Immediately a battery and a stasis ward goes down to try and ensure that won't happen again. Meanwhile, we've got that Robo on the way. Blink now over halfway done. I don't know if Shin's going to be able to pull off any Protoss Stalker Oracle push to the level that someone like Hero is able to do.
I mean, tall order. Tall order for anyone to do that, to be fair. But yeah, it would be very impressive to see that out of Shin here today.
Oh,
for multiple reasons. Nice.
By Shin.
Yeah, great block. Hydroden Infestation Pit on the way from Dark. He's going the Hydra, Ling, Bane, Viper shenaniganry here. Should be really good against the Stalkers, especially. And Ling's just continuing to just scout around, see what's going on. Is there a base here? No, turning up some Banelings in full view of these Oracles and them being like, what? Okay, run, get out of there, cancel those Banes. Hydras are on the way, +2 attack getting fired up immediately from Dark. And Robotics Bay coming in from Shin.
Yeah, double Robo follow-up.
Colossus, yeah, Colossus probably best here against Ling Bane Hydra, without a doubt.
Stalker is going to get surrounded by the Lings. Are there Oracles coming to help? There is, so that Pulsar Beam does get activated. One has got energy left, the other is completely bone dry, so that's going to leave these Stalkers to take more damage than they should have. That was, I don't know, 7 dead Stalkers so 6 dead Stalkers for a fair few Lings. Not a terrible trade for the Protoss.
Yeah, but not a positive one, definitely not.
No, definitely not. And Dark is in a very great spot right now because, like, at this point in the game, the Protoss is usually trying to push the Zerg a bit more, but Dark, he's already got Hydras out, which is quite a milestone for Zerg, and Shin is still just sitting back at home. He's made 2 Immortals, he's got 2 Colossus on the way, but the pressure is already starting now. Good Stasis Ward catches some of the Lings, but that's only going to buy him so many seconds as Dark is coming in, looking to cancel this 4th base. And it's just Stalkers, really, on the front here against lots of Lings and Hydras.
Yeah, that's not going to work ever. The Oracles can't engage because of the Hydralisk. That's a canceled base a million times out of a million. Colossus going to finish up here. They're not going to have extended thermal lance, but you'll take what you can get in a situation like this where a lot of Lings and Hydras are coming at you the other side. Lurker Den is on the way. High finishing up 2, getting Hydra speed. So canceling that base while Dark is casually sitting on 5 bases back home. And 80 total workers. These are some major problems here.
Yeah, major problems indeed for the Protoss. Like, you need to get up that 4th base if you're going to go try and go toe-to-toe with the Zerg. But in reality, I think Dark is going to be looking to try and get some damage done to the economy of Shin. Because Dark's got money to burn. He's going to be able to make Banelings and Lings and go for run-bys, that kind of thing. And it's only a matter of time.
Up. He's getting lunge. Why are these players continuing to get lunge?
I don't know. Anything that makes your units faster is good.
Faster for 0.3 of a second. It's just whatever.
It
It's
can
fine.
help catch prisms or things like that. I don't mind it. We do have Shin moving out on the map. There's Dark immediately going for a Ling counterattack. These two Oracles are going to have their work cut out for them. There is no way this Nexus will survive. Shin's coming back to try and deal with this. He may get a lot of the Lings. Dark is like, oh, I actually got to make sure I kill that. A Colossus is getting surrounded. It does make it to the battery, and it's so close to dying. It does end up perishing, so not a bad trade at all for Dark.
Killing Colossus with Lings is one of my favorite things to do because it's always such a surprising thing. Protoss is always like, what?
It's wrong. It's just against nature.
It is. I love it. It makes me happy.
Okay.
A million lurkers out. That's like 12 lurkers there. They've got adaptive talons. They've got seismic spines. Adrenals on the way. +3 attack for the Lings coming in too.
Oh, that door's open.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's see if Dark can take advantage of it. I think he's too worried about Shin poking around on the edge of the creep here, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Dark's got so many lurkers out. I'm not sure there's anything he has to worry about. 16 lurkers in all. We've got Shin with a Prism in the main base. I believe the Prism must have been killed off, and it was. Meanwhile, there's more Zealots moving up towards the north, and there really is no answer for all these lurkers from Shin. He's only got 2 Immortals out. He does catch a good amount of them on the left side, though, as Dark kind of splits his army incorrectly. That actually allows Shin to take a way better fight than he should have, but it's still not enough. Lurkers are not being targeted down, as one in the back may be able to kill off these 2 Colossus. One of them dies, the other barely stays alive.
Oh, there we go.
But, like, that trade could have been way worse for Shin. At the same time, he still has no units left. Like, he's got 2 Immortals and is warping in 4 High Templar. Meanwhile, Dark fires up 18 more Hydras.
Ooh. Yeah, those are cracklings engaging with your Zealots. I'm afraid that is not what you want to see whatsoever. Oh, I don't even know what that was. What got into that natural base?
I'm guessing it was just a Ling or something. We've got Shin with his Tempest. However, Dark immediately fires up some Vipers upon seeing those. That's going to allow him to just annihilate these Protoss units with Abducts. And there's no Templar Archives. Or, pardon me, there is a Templar Archives. There's Archons out there. Hydras use the lunge to escape.
Boy, they certainly would be dead if they didn't have lunge, eh, Laughing Hand?
Oh, 100%. They were finished.
Yeah, Storm getting tossed up here. The wall is blocked. That Zealous down to like 4 hit points. He did his job, though. Thank you very much. 96 to 65 armor supply in favor of Dark here. Lunging in to try to snipe a Tempest. They get a Tempest. Partially because of the lunge here. Archons are so bad against Hydras, it is laughable. Immortals are so bad against Hydras, it's laughable. I don't know how we have Immortals anyway. I guess for the Lurkers, but man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to knock having Immortals, as they are a good toss backbone. Just the concern right now is that Shin has nothing that is good against Dark's mass Hydra. Like, we're going to see these Hydras go gobble gobble, and like, Shin's army is just being whittled down. The Hydras lunge, they're kiting the Zealots. Now in come the Vipers looking to go for some pickoffs. These Tempests are probably going to be the targets, or just the Immortals. One yoink doesn't really work, and now there is High Templar out, and they do have Psystorm. So that is going to greatly improve the fortunes of Shin, who is still just on 4 bases, 13 minutes into the game. One feedback does connect, and Shin does push Dark away for now. Meanwhile, an attack on the right side is thwarted by the mass cannon wall, which I really love from Shin, but the Banelings are going to try and see to that. I think this Protoss player is going to need to get up a 5th base and really just keep rounding out this composition. We're 14 minutes into a ZVP, and Shin is not dead yet, so we kind of got to give it to him.
Absolutely. I'm kind of surprised we're in this place at all. I love the double Spire toss-up by Dark here. He's like, well, we've got a ton of money. I have 1 million bases.
Oh, the mothership!
On the mothership! No, shield battery saves the mothership. Popping that cloaking field and not cloaking anything really importantly with it here at all. Ooh, Neural Parasite's on the way. Loving that from Dark. Haven't seen that in a replay in a hot minute.
Yeah. Big fan of Neural Parasite. We've got Shin moving forward. He's now maxed out, or will be once these 2 Immortals are done. So the Protoss has got a formidable army. Meanwhile, the Zerg doesn't have that much that's too scary right now. Lurkers, Hydras, and Vipers. Meanwhile, Shin, he's got 6 Immortals in this composition to help try and deal with this mass High Templar, and he's moving out. And Dark may have a hard time dealing with this army. He's focused on a counterattack, but as far as dealing with this force, it's not going to be easy. Shin, though, is trying to push into a massive choke point. One Psystorm connects on a few of the Lurkers, and is that counterattack going in? There are the roly-polies moving towards the 4th base of Shin. He's leaving the mothership back at home so he can cloak these units to keep the cannons and the batteries alive. An incredible use of the mothership by Shin, saving the probes. There is Lings still running on in, but some cannons remain, and of course the mothership itself can help deal with this. So Shin...
Yeah, that Time Warp was sick.
Oh, it's so cool. The mothership being a defensive tool, not to the level it once was since the mothership core. So that's very cool.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. John Solo says, good to see mass cannons on expos being used by the pros. Yeah, by a Zerg main.
Oh, I love it. Like, even when Shin was playing Terran, he invested in a bunker, he had static defense, his walls were good. Shin's just looking darn good no matter what race he's playing today. We do have the Protoss pushing on in, using the Tempest to kill off some of these spores. He's got to be careful from those Vipers, but he's got the High Templar, which can always drop a feedback. Meanwhile, Dark is still trying to go for Ling run-bys all over the place. So far, Shin has done a quite alright job dealing with them throughout this game. Tempest are going to get abducted despite double feedbacks going down. Psystorm's going to deal some damage in return, though. We've got Dark pushing on in towards this expansion of Shin. It's not the biggest attacking army. The cannons are buying some time. So we see a warping from Shin to try and save this Nexus and save the mining, which is oh so important. And Shin is holding on and also keeping the pressure on Dark with these Tempests below this cliff.
Where is my tectonic destabilizers? Shin, you know this upgrade exists. Go get it. You're attacking buildings.
He's like, wait, what building do I research that at?
Oh, he's firing it up now. Okay, good. He's working on it. And Corruptor's trying to jump on that mothership. That mothership is so dead.
The Psystorm is annihilating the Corruptors of Dark. He was able to get the injured mothership, but it cost him greatly. Queens are dropping transfuses on each other, but the Tempest are doing work against them. I would love to see Shin get some more upgrades going, whether it be armor, more shields, or just more air attack.
Yeah, if you can dodge the storms of these Corruptors, you're going to do just fine here. There are no Stalkers at all to help with this. Transfuses on the Corruptors is awesome, too. John Solo heard me giggle about the lunge toward those cannons. Yeah, he's just using lunge whenever he can at this point. Very fun. Let's see if we've got basically Lurkers and Corruptors now, so not so much on the Hydra side of it.
This one Observer has been so critical for Shin, the fact that he's had eyes on these Lurkers far forward this entire match. Meanwhile, a cannon is fighting the Lurkers of Dark. More harassment is trying to make it to the natural. In go the Lurkers, though, towards this base of Shin. That is concerning. That is going to be a probe massacre. A few run away. However, that is going to be big economic damage to the Protoss. Shin is trying to take another Nexus, which I definitely like to see. But Dark, for the past minute, has made some good moves. He pushed Shin off his base. He's been building up this massive Corruptor Lurker army. And yeah, Shin just needs to get back up to 200 supply.
Yeah, 175 is pretty close. Having 62 workers is going to help with that. He's going to expand down to this 5 o'clock position. However, Lings are running into that one down here. 2 Banelings mostly.
Yeah,
so they're not going to do crazy well against Archons and Immortals and stuff. So they're trying to get on out. Lurker is much better in this situation. The Immortals with the Tempest support against these Lurks might be able to get some work. But yeah, that's a giant Corruptor Ball. They're almost 1 volleying. There's a 2 volley down on these Tempests. They're eating Storms. They don't care. We're going to get rid of this Tempest group, and now the army value is plummeting from Shin.
Yeah, woo. GG. Shin just taps on out as Dark ties it up, realizing that my air army is dead, and that's really what I was relying on. Well played by Dark, but that was scarier than it should have been.
It was, man. What was that, a 19-minute PvZ there? I mean, Shin's Protoss, not bad at all. If we can take a 20-minute game with Dark playing Zerg, that's fantastic. So we get a game 5 here between these 2 players here. Too Grateful to Be Hateful has been apparently betting on this series and not happy about how things are going.
Who'd have thought?
With all the off racing, yeah. Good grief. Sinner says, what are gems? They're bits. If you're a Twitch user, they're just bits here on Soup Live, or Super Chats if you're more of a YouTube live stream watcher. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Banana's like, yeah, that's like 50. Yep, we already hit the goal. We hit the goal of 500 gems like 15 minutes into the stream, so.
Which is fantastic.
Thanks everyone for being so friggin' awesome.
Okay, we're just making sure both players are ready. Shin is ready. Is Dark ready?
Dark has some words to say.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for supporting the stream. And yeah, it's great to see everyone. If you don't have an account on Soup, go ahead and make that, as we do these events quite regularly, and we'll be back probably in about 2 weeks.
Aw, Dark said, well done, Toss. My Google Lens is translating.
Mission failed. What is that? Okay.
Shin says, what happened to Toss? Why is it so tricky? We're having these, like, balanced discussions while they're waiting for the game to load. Amazing. All right. Man, 2-2. 2-2 here on El Dorado. And it's gonna... Yeah, why not? We'll just finish this off with a PvP. Why not? Bottom left. It's our red Protoss. It's Dark.
And in the bottom right, it's Shin.
You need to switch the sheet, the scene.
You are right. No. I'll try and get a scene switcher going again. I don't think too many like. Do you use the scene switcher for your games at all, or no?
Nothing that's fancy at all. I just click on my different scene and it goes.
You just don't get distracted. That's your trick.
I guess. I guess that's what it is. I'm trying to like keep 18 things in my head at once. It's a busy life. You know how it is.
Okay. So, a PvP. The last one had double DT shenanigans that went the way of Shin. Now, we're gonna see whether Dark's off racing will make him look foolish or smart if he can win this series.
I don't know. I mean, Shin comes through what? The entire series here. He's played Terran. He's played Zerg. It doesn't seem to make much sense.
No, it does not.
I don't know, man. Well, Dark's going to see a second base well on its way here from Shin with the Probe Scout. Come in, see the second gas as well for his blue opponent. Dark's firing up Warp Gate, but Shin started his already as a tiny bit further along. Sentry's coming in. A couple Stalkers on the answer from Dark. So a couple Stalkers should be showing up here soon.
Yeah.
Not a long rush distance here on El Dorado.
This Nexus is a very bold play by Shin to go for a 1-gate expand, as Dark is definitely going to be able to try and put pressure on his opponent. We'll see whether Dark fires up 2 more Stalkers. So far, nothing though. There they are, but they're definitely later than they should have been for a Protoss that's trying to punish another Toss's 1-gate expand. Timing is everything to try and make pushes like this work. That being said, Dark is still going to have the firepower advantage with 2 Stalkers against 2 Sentries. And we'll see if he can get anything done. As a result, start shooting at those sentries, I think, would be the right play, and he is going to start doing that. The battery for Shin is a long way away. Double force field goes down, but the sentries may still lose this fight. Another one pops on out as Shin micros that one back, but not in time. He is now eating more Stalker shots. Going to lose all 3 sentries trying to pull off this 1-gate expand. And he does have a Stalker about to pop out, which should save his bacon. He throws up another battery, but an Oracle is on the way for Dark, and 3 more Stalkers looking to push this ramp.
Yeah, so like you said, this is why you don't open 1-gate expand in PvP, because the other player will go 2-gate Stalker and will kill you. This is exactly what we're looking at here. That Cybercore is going to get sniped. I don't know how we save it. Shin's producing nothing. He has no army units. He's got 3 Stalkers he can bring down and maybe 5, but he's worried about an Oracle showing up, which is fair because there's an Oracle that is showing up. Gosh, this is so crazy. Splitting it off here. A couple probes of the natural.
Yeah.
Everybody has to pull out of that base.
Shin needs
Cybercore
to
dead.
save it. He's not saving the Cybercore, though.
Yeah.
And that is a massive blow to him because he can't fire up any tech. He at least does have the Twilight Council done, but he can't warp in any Stalkers to utilize the Blink as of yet. So I don't know what he's going to spend his money on for the next minute.
Probes, I guess. Probes. Looks like he's building another pylon. Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? That being said, the bullying that Shin has taken aside, he's ahead 8 workers, which is quite impressive. So fundamentally, he's got away with this opening.
Ooh, nice hallucinated Phoenix move out for the Scout, trying to see what's what. Dark shading into a couple of depths for the Scout too. Double Oracle getting a couple probes, maybe just the one. Wha-bam, wha-bam, 5, 6, 7, 8 probes. It is a worker advantage from Dark by only about 3 here, though, but he's definitely made up for the fact that Shin went for the earlier expand and even it up economically now.
Yeah, I was just talking about Shin's nice probe league, and Dark says, you're right, I should do something about that. So, well done to Dark pulling off that harassment. Shin realistically shouldn't have taken that damage. I mean, he had more than enough units to defend that, just the positioning wasn't quite in place. Who'd have thought a Zerg main isn't amazing at defending oracles in PvP?
All right, Mortal Productions here from Dark. Again, he just evened it up. Just evened up, took away the Shin's advantage he was rolling with. Shin throws down a 3rd base at what is kind of a gold. El Dorado's a weird map.
It is such a weird map.
Expand to either side of these minerals and kind of be fine with it.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely see the backside gold taken way more often than the front side of it.
Yeah, I guess because you have to mine out those little minerals plopped in the center of where your Nexus would go, but it's just not optimal mining.
It's definitely not optimal mining, but it is still a gold base. And we see Shin getting, like, it's also important to note for Protoss, there's literally no gas to mine at this base.
Right.
So Dark is, or pardon me, Shin is getting ready to just make mass charge lots since he is going to have a Zealot surplus. He's got +1 on the way. Charge researching, gateways building. And he may be going for a blink charge lot timing, something like that. Like, we look at the composition, Dark, he's making Immortals, adding Sentries to his army. Shin is just going to be going for mass charge lots with the Stalkers he already has.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm okay with it. Mass charge lot is kind of interesting in this matchup. Force fields really messed them up is the problem.
Oh, Force Field, Stasis Wards. I'm really curious to see if Shin's going to be able to diffuse this minefield of stasis that Dark has constructed. Like they don't, or they do show on the structures tab, pardon me. 7 Stasis Wards out right now.
Yeah, pretty fun. I played against a Protoss the other day. He put 3 stasis wards up a ramp at one of his bases. I was sending a Ling, and I was like, haha, got it. And I sent in like 10 more Lings, and they got stasis, and I was like, aw. It's like, I got some more Lings, and I sent in 10 more, and they got stasis, and I was like, what makes this many stasis? This guy totally did.
That guy, the best part is you just reinforced his, like, stasis theory. He's like, works every time.
I mean, at my level, I'm sure it does.
Oh yeah, they are something that requires a lot of counterplay, so it's not easy to deal with stasis wards. Okay, so Shin is not actually taking an attack with this. He's actually just going to be building a 4th Nexus rather speedily, so he has an actual extra base with more gases. He's investing in a Templar Archives, getting cannons all over the place. I love the static defense from Shin today. He's getting +2 attack on the way. Adding in his own Immortals, he definitely has an Immortal deficit, seeing as how Dark has been consistently building these. And Dark is really just set up for an attack right now. So I think it's actually a really great decision by Shin to not be attacking right now. Well, not seriously attacking, and just to be macroing behind this. Shin cancels Dark's attempt at a 4th base just by moving out with his army. Dark is hunkering down hardcore. Look at this. He's got triple stasis.
Hey, he's listening to the stream. Get him.
I think those may be too close to actually be effective as Protoss, because like, I think 1 Ling would detonate all 3 of those, but I don't know.
Maybe.
Shin just taking his economic lead and running with it. We pull up that income advantage tab. It is huge for him thanks to that gold base, thanks to the 4th base he's already got established and fully saturated. He says, I need more, as he takes the 5th base. The what's that word for it? Like the gold curse or whatever.
Ooh.
Gold sickness. Shin just wants more and more money.
I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Yeah, that's a dangerous place to be.
Now he's moving out on the map. He's got to be very careful. Grabs an Oracle. That is huge. Shin maintaining his map presence, having a ridiculously strong economy, is doing everything that you want to do as a Protoss, just as a StarCraft 2 player. Keep your opponent down, but then out-macro them, sets you up for success in the long run. I think the only thing Shin has to worry about for the next minute here is whether Dark potentially moves out with his massive 6 Immortal, 7 Archon army. But if Shin can keep him at home for another minute or two, he'll just have a way more money to spend.
Yeah, his bank's gonna look incredible. Stasis catching 1. Nicely done there by Shin. Popping Guardian Shield on both sides. Red versus blue. Looking very beautiful here. That 1 Stalker is dead. Warp Prism swings back home.
Oh, stasis.
Hey, look. Where's my triple stasis at? Immortal's getting some pretty good big chunks against those Archons while running away.
Man, the army of Dark is just huge. Like, that is a scary Protoss army. And now Dark is deciding it's time to go for it. Shin better hope he has enough production to utilize his massive economy. And I'm not sure he does, as the blue Protoss player does have an upgrade lead for now. It's 2-1 against just +2 attack. He's got disruptors that have been produced, which can really help him out. This base's mining is going to be interrupted. And I do like the disruptors from Shin to help overcome that massive army that Dark has built. Good connection, kills off a lot of the Zealots that Dark just sent on in Hail Mary. Meanwhile, we've got Shin going for his own Zealot run-bys. Zealots are getting cleaned up by DTs in the main base of Dark, or in the natural base of Dark. Meanwhile, Dark rotates, has that Oracle still alive, dropping a Space of Sword, is going to be trying to kill the Nexus of his opponent. He's dropping down Force Fields, but there is an Archon that can just absorb them.
Yeah, just bump right over them there, kiting back and forth, throwing down more force fields. Nice concave here from Shin. Army of Volley for Shin is bigger, dodging those disruptor shots. Nova's not connecting with much there. More Nova shots. I think an Immortal just got hit there for Dark. That's a big time hit for him, and this base continues to massively support Shin.
Yeah. Now, Dark has secured up his 4th base. He's taking his own 5th, so realistically, after killing off that other gold base, it's going to be 5 versus 5. Minus the slight income boost because Shin does have a 2nd gold base present, but things have kind of evened out a little bit in the sense that Dark lost some of his army, but his economy has grown. Now Shin maybe has the army to do something here, as he does have a nice supply lead.
Yeah, that gold base continuing to be awesome. 124 to 98 overall army supply. Shin on the advantage. And the aggression for sure. Dark, I don't know if this base is going to happen. That's a lot of Immortals, though. But Nova is catching 2 Stalkers with 1 solid hit. Guardian Shield getting popped here. Concave high ground. Nova is catching 2 Archons on the ground there, too. Shin is crushing the army value. 10 Zealots pop at a time. A Mothership is finishing up here from Dark. Shin, I think he needs to keep pushing in here. He's just kind of hanging out. He's got an advantage, but he's allowing Dark to max out again.
Yeah. He is giving Dark time, but he's right on the front, so he is pushing in towards the 5th base. All these disruptors really don't have an answer for Dark, and so the Red Protoss just has to abandon the 5th.
He's got a counterattack coming in down the south there. Nice warp in of Zealots to deal with the incoming Zealots. Excellent, excellent reaction time there from Shin. He's like, man, it's so nice to recognize a ton of Zealots are at my base and just warp in 10 Zealots.
It really is the Protoss blessing. It's just like, problem solved. Disruptors tossing out Novas, forcing Dark to split his Immortals. The cloak on the Mothership, maybe helping push Shin back a little bit, but...
Doesn't save you from getting hit by a Purification Nova, my friend.
No, it doesn't.
Flash damage still works just fine. Immortals taking hit there, 115 to 82 total supply. Army supply, rather, in favor of Shin. I love the Nova. Kills a single probe. Sure, why not? Better than nothing.
The Immortal count of Dark really is disgusting, though. I mean, he's got 9 Immortals. He's going up to 11. Just a pure muscle army. Now, we'll see whether Shin is going to be able to dismantle that using mass Novas, as he does have 3 Disruptors, going up to 5. He's adding in triple Stargate as well. I mean, is understandable, seeing as how he's got a lot of money to spend. I would like to see another Nexus go down for Shin, though, as some of these bases will be mining. He did resecure that location, though.
Yeah, that gold helping a lot here. Army value now favoring Dark. I mean, I feel like Shin has had these windows. He gets major wins and then just kind of falls back. It's largely a mass Stalker play now, though, with all those Immortals.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, you don't want to, not going to stand and fight at this point, no.
Yeah, 11 Immortals versus 23 Stalkers. I'll put my money on the Immortals any day of the week. Now, the problem for Dark throughout this series has been that Shin's economy is just so huge. He can just replace units and warp in to prevent any counterattack by Dark. We do see double Disruptor Novas going off, but really they just bruise the Immortal shields. So maybe Dark finally will have his day, be able to push out with this composition that he's patiently been building to potentially kill Shin. I mean, Shin has got almost 3,000 minerals in the bank, but does he have an answer to this army? It doesn't look like it.
That's
the DT's on mass.
He's like, boy, I sure hope he doesn't have an OBS. Oh, he has an OBS. Never mind. Yeah, he's an OBS to this party. The Immortal count is intimidating. Yeah, Stalker DT is not the answer here. Wow. I feel like Shin had a pretty good window to win this game, but wasn't able to strike while the iron was hot. And it looks like Dark is going to move on to our best of 7 finals after a extremely
a blink forward
wonky...
into 11 Immortals. That is
Yeah,
not the
no.
play. He got the Observer. That was it.
Hold on a second. He blinked in with the Stalkers to get the Obs. 2 more Obs are joining the party. It's a temporary victory.
Yeah, that is a bold play by Shin, but in the end, Dark is going to take it, playing incredibly patient. What did he just recall to himself? More Stalkers apparently is the answer. Well done by Dark. Shin may be kicking himself by playing the match like this, by not just playing Zerg against Dark's Protoss for 5 matches. And well done by Dark. Off racing, but winning.
Yep, one of the weirder best of 5s we have ever cast. Shin's got questions. I'm not sure that Dark has answers. Dark does apparently have answers.
Oh, I think Dark has an answer for everything. And the new mothership is so cool. Look at those attacks.
Those are awesome. Without a doubt.
How a mothership should look.
Yes. Shin says, I ignored you too much. Yeah? Agree with that sentiment, Shin.
He definitely
you really
did.
Make him kill all of your buildings, Shin?
He's just here for the conversation at this point.
Yeah. He's still got, 200 APM. He's building his own... Yeah, okay, there he goes.
Dark takes the best of 5 in a 3-2. Just...
It's a reverse sweep. He was down 2-0.
Yeah, that was very, very goofy, but it is what it is.
Dark said, I'm Protoss number 1. Maybe you are. Maybe you are, Dark. That's incredible. All right, so that's first of our best of 5s in the bag. One of the strangest best of 5s I've ever seen. The off racing was off the charts. The insanity was off the charts. Really fun stuff, though. We'll go to our next best of 5 here. Coming in, Rogue versus Gumio. The Towel Terran is ready for us. We're going to take a bit of a break then. Again, thanks for the support for all of you guys who already hit our 500 gems goal. I guess you could still continue to support with more gems. We'll see what we do with those. But yeah, we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Yeah, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with what should be an awesome, I hesitate saying it, TVZ, but it'll be awesome nonetheless. We'll see you guys in a few. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it is time for our next match. It's going to be Gumiho taking on Rogue in a TVZ best of 5 between an incredibly exciting to watch Terran player, who is also incredibly good, versus Rogue, who is a bit of a wild card as far as form goes.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Rogue is a bit of a wild card these days. We'll see how he's going to do against the Towel Terran, who did look pretty good at Home Story Cup, did end up winning that one. Not that that's exactly a super serious formal tournament, but nevertheless, he did look pretty good there. So,
Yeah.
let's see how we do here on El Dorado for game numero uno.
Okay, we are getting both the players into the lobby, and then we'll get into the match. And both players are ready, so away we go. Alright, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to the SOOP Starcraft Global number 12. We've already blown away our gems goal for this event. We're going to find out what we're going to do beyond that as far as these events go. But yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. Click that follow button if you haven't already, or if you don't have an account, make one. It takes about 2 seconds, and we're reading all your chats and everything. Okay.
Yeah, you can talk with us. It's a super fun time.
Okay, and here we are in the bottom left. It is Gumiho.
And in the bottom right, world champion extractor tricking. His name is Rogue. All right, man. Extractor tricking for 15 supply to 14. Going to go 15 hatch. With that 15 supply, gives you a faster hatch first and a little bit of a faster pool because of the 275 minerals that is required for a hatch these days.
Yeah, that is
There
a
we
very
go.
cool change. And we talked about this last time we saw this. It definitely
Yes.
helps Zerg against the 2 racks.
Yep, because
And-
you get a hatch first and get a pull down a little bit faster, and every second helps against this kind of a thing.
Yep, your creep starts spreading quicker. And right now, Gumiho is going to try it anyway. He's actually going to be going for a triple racks, which is Terran's kind of adjusting maybe to the 2 racks being nerfed. You need that bigger commitment. Who knows? But Rogue is also a master of defending this kind of thing. However, doing it blind is not easy, and he's got no indication that this is coming. It's incredibly close to his front door as well. Like, these Marines are not going to have to travel far. What a dirty move by Gumiho to start off this series.
I mean, it ain't dirty if you can do it. So
No,
here
everything's
we
on
are.
the table.
Yeah, and definitely very, very fair. So that pool is just about done. That hatch is finishing. That creep's going to start popping, and bam, there it goes. And actually mining out that back wall, planning for more of a macro game. Oh, crap, there's SCVs here. Oh, crap, there are Marines. Never mind those plans. Abort the plans. Spread the creep. Bunker is in position. Drones got to get pulled to shut this thing down. They're going to at least force cancel on the bunker. The creep spread might get far enough away that a bunker's not going to make any sense here, and it does.
Okay.
I mean, okay, bunker gets tossed down anyway. It's not in the range of the hatch, though, is it? I don't think it is.
No, one of those SCVs died, so the bunker is delayed. However, Rogue is losing so much mining time as he pulls the drones to fight this. He knows how serious this is. Probably putting it together that it's a 3 racks he's up against, wanting to secure the kill on these Marines. He's going for the surround with the drones, conscripting them into the battle, and Rogue pulls off creep. He doesn't cancel the bunker, though, so that's going to be more of an obstacle for him to deal with. The queen is out. Drones are still not mining.
Come on.
Yeah, I think Gumiho may have just traded well enough against this. It is just drones against these Marines right now. He's getting an incredible surround, all things considered. However, this is big economic damage getting done to the Zerg. Few Lings and the Queen are doing what they can against this bunker. It will fall. Rogue is down to 10 workers, though.
He is, but he's got the second base rocking. He's got the Lings out here. He should be able to drone up at this point and pretty much be okay.
I don't
Gumi
know.
was still pumping Marines, however.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a spine, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Rogue's got time or the money to build a spine, though. I think Gumiho's probably won this. Like, if Rogue makes Lings, Gumiho is just going to kite them off of creep. If Rogue builds a spine, Gumiho's probably just going to attack on in, and Rogue won't be able to defend, so it is not an easy spot for the Zerg to be right now. He's down 9 workers compared to his opponent. Gumiho's building that CC on location back at home. The power of the 3 racks is just that it is not easy to shut it down. Gumiho's poking on in, seeing all of Rogue's Lings. He's like, all right, come on. I want to kite these Lings and kill them all off. Rogue is going for this round, pulls more from the left, but there's simply so many Marines for the Terran player. Gumiho is going to take game number 1 like a dirty Terran.
Man, last time this happened and the Zerg held it, we were like, is the proxy racks over? Is it done? Nope. Gumio's showing us we were wrong about that. Definitely made it work. It was not easy. It's not like the first attack just won there, but he got a lot of damage, a lot of economic damage done there. A ton of drones died. The bunker didn't come up, didn't matter. Just kept making Marines, kept going with that 3 racks, and that follow-up was absolutely brutal. So, fantastic.
Yeah,
wow.
The lack of scouting really hurt Rogue. Like, not scouting a 2 racks, you can defend it. Not scouting a 3 racks, not so much, so. Oops, I invited the wrong Zerg player.
Could maybe swap it out mid-series. That's not a big deal, right?
Okay, so we're getting the players into the lobby. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in to SOOP Starcraft Global number 12. Make sure to follow the stream, share it around, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, post a link to it out on, X if you're out there, Blue Sky. That's a new thing if you're there. You can maybe even talk about it on TikTok if you want. Maybe there's some StarCraft fans out there these days.
Are you on Blue Sky yet? Or no?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm actually on TikTok, Blue Sky, X, Instagram, Facebook.
Man, you are with it.
I mean, all I pretty much do is post little clips of my casts out there, and then, like, every once in a while leave a comment or like something. I'm not really out on everything.
Yeah, that's cool, though.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Into match number 2 of this best of 5. Securing the quick and dirty lead. It's Gumiho.
And in the top left, it is, again, world champion, Rogue.
Oh, what is this going to be? A low ground wall off from the Towel Terran.
Intriguing. On this map, where there are multiple ways to get into your natural base, too. He is basically betting on this not being a pool first out of Rogue, which maybe is a fair bet.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is Gumiho going to go for Reapers or something? Because that's what usually accompanies this low ground wall off. There's another SCV going down. It's going to be Reapers from Gumiho.
I mean, if you don't have to go late game against Rogue as Terran, maybe you just don't.
Yeah, Gumiho is really testing Rogue. All right, we've had the Marine cheese. Now it's time for the Reaper cheese. The Reaper cheese conventionally is a bit weaker, but Zergs aren't necessarily facing this as much these days. And Gumiho is gonna try and get a ball rolling. That first Reaper starts building.
All right, Rogue, let's see how we do. Gonna want that speed. He is getting the gas. He'll be ready for it as soon as that pool's done.
Yeah, Rogue did delay his Overlord path, though, by looking for the proxy 2 racks, or 3 racks. So he's not going to identify that this is Mass Reaper as quick as he'd like. The tell may just be the fact that he'll see a second Reaper coming on out.
Fair. Oh man, it's getting a third base too. Rogue, buddy, maybe not this time.
Yeah, Rogue is going to have to cancel that third base upon seeing extra Reapers. In comes the Reaper of Gumiho, sending some Lings flying. Every Ling he can pick off now will increase the chances of this snowballing, although Lings do get precariously close to killing this Reaper.
Jumps up on that high ground at the last second, as
intercept,
Reapers do.
But just makes it out of there, and now all of a sudden Gumiho's like, what? Or Rogue's like, what? Another Reaper? Yeah. What is this?
Not getting a third base then. Let's go ahead and wait for that speed to finish, make some more queens. More and more Lings in production here too.
Lings and queens.
All right.
Repel.
Yeah.
The Reapers. Gumiho wants to keep these Reapers alive as long as he can, as he's going for a very speedy transition, which could leave him potentially open to counters or something like that.
It's a nice wall off. I mean, I like it. Lings aren't going to be able to get through there. It's pretty smart covering both those approach angles. Alright, well so far it's just queen production, we got speedlings, everything's fine. And what's fun about this Mass Reaper play is that you can transition it very quickly into a ton of Marines and Marauders with stim and combat shields and stuff. So that's exactly what Gumiho is doing. His second base is rolling, stim's finishing up, getting a factory behind it, probably had some tanks. And we need a good scout off. An Overlord poking into this main base would be really nice. I don't know if there's one in position to do it though.
I mean,
oh, there he is. I see him.
It's gonna be Marines.
I mean, yeah. Right. Like, there's no real way to go mech off of a Mass Reaper opening necessarily. But, it is Gumiho. He can try it.
It is Gumiho.
Of all the players.
Now, with that third base being delayed, creep spread is also delayed for Rogue, which is a critical part of Zerg trying to defend against these Terran Marine pushes. So we'll see whether Rogue is going to be able to shut this down. Looks like he might be setting his Lings up to pounce on this potentially. In comes Gumiho, drops the scan, going to kill 3 critical creep tumors, push creep all the way back up to that natural base. And Gumiho is really just buying time until he's going to have medivacs and combat shields to support this push. All of a sudden, though, he does decide to drop the stim using the choke point on Abyssal Reef in order to bottle up these Lings and kill them, and Rogue is having a very tough time cleaning this up. He's already lost most of his queens. More Lings and queens are coming forward. These Marines are very overstimmed, so Gumiho will lose a big chunk of this, but 33 Lings and 4 queens for 11 Marines and the Reapers is quite a great trade for the Terran.
Yeah, it's 2-to-1 resources lost here. Gumiho is being incredibly cost efficient with these Marines, as they usually are. Liberator being added up in the background. There are Banelings. Well, Baneling, there we go. Now Baneling's getting fired up. Centrifugal hooks on the way here, too. It'd be really nice to have those now, but they're not going to be here for the next attack. Not even close. Yeah, here come the Marines charging up that ramp. Getting those creep trimmers would be nice, but a little bit too late for that. Oh, he's going to get the Baneling nest and the centrifugal hooks. Yeah. He's going to think about it anyway. The Banelings are really scary. Coming around for the wrap up. 2 Banelings, no Banelings, no. Baneling, no. Absolutely not. Slow Banelings, don't even offend. Wow, that was offensive attempt at slow Banelings into Gumiho. That was like, I don't think you can handle this, Gumiho. And Gumiho was like, are you serious? Slow Banelings right in my face. Bam, bam, bam. Shuts them all down. Yeah, Rogue should have waited on that.
That was incredibly well done by Gumiho. Great choice of builds, and then just delaying Rogue and having a very lethal follow-up.
All right, let's hop into the next match here. We are ready to go. Wow, I did not think it would be a 2-0 start for Gumiho in this series, but That's why you play the games. You just never know what you're gonna what to expect, what's gonna happen. Dang.
Okay.
Yeah, ley lines here for game number 3. Gumio says he's ready, and there we go. Rogue gets the ready as well. So, gonna hop on in here. Ley lines. Pretty fun map. Let's see what we get here.
Okay. Into game number 3 of the SOOP Starcraft Global number 12. In the upper right, he's down 0-2. It's Rogue.
And in the bottom left, it's a blue Terran player. His name is Gumio. You may know him as the Towel Terran.
Or Goomy God.
Or Goomy God. Yes.
I got a question.
Yo.
What's a ley line?
A ley line? From what I understand in books that I've read, they're usually related to lines of like magical power in kind of a magic system. Like throughout the world, there are these lines that can be traced that indicate basically power going through them. And if you know where the ley lines are, you can like build stuff there or access it and use it for your own purposes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now I'm going to Google it and see if there's another word for it. Yeah, there you go. Imaginary lines that connect important sites like prehistoric sites, monuments, and landmarks. The idea that ley lines exist is pseudoscientific and not accepted by academic archaeologists. So, yeah. Basically, some people are like, hey, look, you can connect a line from Machu Picchu to the pyramids of Giza to the Taj Mahal. That must mean something. And it's like, no, not really. There's just a lot of important landmarks in the world. You can connect a lot of stuff to other stuff. Yeah, ley lines are energy lines that can carry a powerful magnetic field. Others say they hold psychic power. There's just a lot of different ideas as to what they are exactly. So that's just kind of what the map maker's drawing into here. Ba-boom. All right, man. Quick factory on the way here from Gumio. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on that fact. Is he going to try? Is he going to try to mech it here in a TVZ against Rogue? Up 2-0 in a best of 5. It's not a bad time to do it. But for now, it's just regular Hellion production. Let's not be too hasty. Got a starport coming up here too, probably for a Banshee. Maybe 2 of them. Maybe some Cloak Banshee stuff, which is so popular in this matchup and has been for a while now. Ling pokes in just to make sure there is a second base, because that's not been a guarantee today. But good information gathered.
I like little pokes like that, but also keeping the Ling away. Really keeps Gumiho's on his toes, wondering where's that Ling? Hellions are crossing the map for Gumiho. Immediately they show up at the third base. Rogue has all his Lings at home, ready to defend a potential poke by the Hellions. Except this one little guy, gonna be going back into the natural base, running up towards the main base, confirming there's Cloak and the Banshee on the way.
Yes, there it is. Hellions, are they gonna YOLO in? Sounds like they're YOLOing in here. Doing fairly well. Might block
the Queens. Good attempt at a block by Rogue and then pull of the drones. All in all, 4 Hellions for 4 drones is a trade Zerg will take.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, if you're going to YOLO these suckers.
Is he letting that Evo finish?
Yes?
Okay, I guess Rogue has an Evo for later. And oh, here we go. Gumiho throws up 2 more factories, so we are going to be getting a mech game out of the Terran player.
Oh, I wasn't sure. I was not sure. I was worried about it. He's going to do it. If anyone can make this work in this matchup, it's probably Gumiho. He's just weird enough. He's just as experienced enough with it that where a lot of Terran players just say it's bad, it's non-viable in every matchup, really, he's going to make a go for it.
We've got a Banshee coming in for Gumiho. Grabs itself 3 drones, which is very nice to start things off. Trying to get a 4th, but the queen positioning from Rogue is good enough to push it away. Meanwhile, we've got an armory building for Gumiho behind this to bolster up his mech forces to unlock upgrades, and he's gonna go into Magfield Accelerator already. So Cyclone Hellion, probably with Banshees or Ravens to back it up.
Yeah, ¿por qué no los dos? I'm fine with that. I'm gonna go some battle mech here. And then maybe switch up, start adding some tanks, adding some Thors in later. Always kind of a fun way to play mech, is be really mobile at first. Make the Zerg player chase you all around the map. Pick off creep tumors, delay bases. And then when they're all harried, then you start throwing in more Thors, more siege tanks. You do a bit of some Banshee shenanigans. Both Banshee shenanigans.
Yeah, grabbing a few more worker kills. Rogue has yet to identify that this is mech, which I think is very unfortunate for the Zerg, because if he had seen this was mech, I believe we would have had a much quicker 4th base from Rogue. Instead, his 4th base attempt almost gets denied by these Banshees. Great transform to save that drone, though, to allow him to take this base.
Yep, and that's the trick here of going against mech, is you expand a whole bunch, take advantage of the fact the mech is a little bit slower to get out. The attacks aren't going to be as big. It's going to be more harassment rather than big, concentrated, strong attacks at first.
Like,
but yeah, having that Raven out, you don't have to burn scans on Creep Tumor Des is awesome.
Yeah, it is very nice. Looks like we've got Rogue going for a Ling or run by towards the 3rd base. Going to disrupt mining. Hellions and Banshees will be able to respond to this, though, and to shut it down without too many losses at all. I think maybe 1 SCV died there.
Yeah, maybe. Hydroden Infestation Pit on the way from Rogue, working on upgrades for his melee, or his missile attack units, my apologies. Ghouliel Reconstitution coming in here, too.
Queens are getting caught out by the Raven, by the Cyclones and Hellions, forcing them to dump all their transfuse, but it's not going to be enough. They will all perish regardless. Rogue really only has a few roaches to try and deal with this army of Gumiho. And that's where Gumiho will find his success in this game playing mech. It's that there isn't exactly a written book on how to deal with it, on when to build what units. It really puts the Zerg off step. And that allowed him to catch Rogue without really anything to defend his queens there. Gumiho's continuing to clean up creep. There is very little creep spread present for the Zerg.
Yeah, it's really hard to stop this. Hyperflight Rotors is finishing up from Gumiho just because he's that kind of a guy. We're going to have Speed Banshees out, which are so good. Yeah, Roach is trying to deal with this. Cyclones are like, how about you not step too far out on creep, my friend? Amazing, amazing stuff here out of Gumiho. He's expanding again to a 4th base. More factories being added in all the time here. The Banshees are fast. They have flames shooting out of their butts as they flying around now. And so far, Gumiho's in control of this game.
That 4th landing for Gumiho is huge, because it means he's just basically going to have an even economy with the Zerg. He's already got a 5th building, and he's going to cancel Rogue's own 5th base. Actually kills it, because Rogue is busy trying to deal with Banshees in his mineral lines and also deal with this push on the front. Gumiho is in an incredible position in this match. He's getting great cost efficiency and then out macroing his opponent. Rogue is going to need to make some amazing play in order to come back in this game. He's investing in Vipers, not going for Infestors.
That's weird. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that fungal on top of that fast race car mech, but Blinding Cloud doesn't work as well because they just move out of it.
Yeah, I guess maybe he's going to be trying to go for sort of short to mid-term efficiency with the Vipers by just abducting Cyclones and Banshees and Hellions constantly. That is one way you can go about it as Zerg, but when you're having to play this defensive, I'm not sure it's what you want. Rogue has the surge forward. He's trying to get on top of these Cyclones, on top of these Hellions, but Gumiho can just retreat, and the Terran player is transitioning into siege tanks now in order to give him that strong army you need to deal with the bulk of the Zerg force.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, right? You've harassed. Now you're working on more stable siege tank Thor type forces. Big hits, slower but good towards the mid and the late game. Lunge is getting researched by Rogue because, again, every Zerg player is contractually obligated to make it these days. We'll see if it has any use against this fast mech.
Vipers do go for abductions on quite a few of these Cyclones, securing their kills. However, as far as the numbers go, I'm not sure Rogue actually has enough present. I think he had some of his forces to the north, maybe anticipating a two-stage attack, but in reality, Gumiho is just poking forward with most of his Cyclones and Hellions, and since Rogue's army was split, it did allow Gumiho to get a much better trade, although there was actually a bit of a poke towards the north.
Oh man, picking off those Hydras from distance, getting away with their super fast speed, hyperflight rotors coming into play here. Rogue's got the bigger army, that abduct of all those Cyclones. If you can get rid of the Cyclones, they are what make this whole thing work. If the Cyclones are gone, it's much easier for the Zerg to handle it. That's exactly what we saw. Banshee's continuing to be incredibly active. Might get abducted, but you gotta see him to abduct him.
Yeah, no Overseer, or Overseer's not quite in position. Rogue would love to get abducts off. And we are going to see if Rogue can potentially make some big plays happen now, because he does still have these Vipers. He's got mass Hydras. Abduct on one of the tanks. He's pulling in more and more Cyclones, which is really great cost efficiency for the Zerg. And Rogue is confident. Now, he has lost... Well, the Vipers are all out of energy, but there's the lunge. Oh, man. The Zergs just love pressing that button. However... things are really turning around for Rogue as he has survived into that stage that's given him a big Zerg army with mass Vipers and Hydras in order to just keep tossing down those spells. He deleted that command center like it was nothing. He's going up towards 6 bases. Gumiho is trying to resecure up his 5th, but it's not even a planetary, so that's going to be vulnerable as well.
It is, but planetaries at this stage of the game don't mean anything. It's
true.
Not like it's a planetary that's going to save it from dying. I mean, that Hydra ball shows up with a little bit of roach or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's gone. So you might as well have the economic advantage, is my argument at this point. So yeah, Rogue maxed out. Gumiho maxed out. Both players have similar banks, similar worker count, similar army value, and when you're meching, you're going to be more cost efficient. However, with Abducts, you can kind of flip that script. We'll see how Rogue does with the Viper play, which is always key in situations like this. We'll see if he can get that off. Gumiho sending some Hellions out on our attack on the right side. They're just scouting to see that new base coming up over on that position. Rogue's got an army on the left. He's got one on the right. He's got one on the center. He's feeling good.
Yeah, the problem is the trades really start to fall off for the meching Terran, and there's that lunge to try and kill off the command center. Banshees are coming on in order to try and clean this up, and Rogue will lose a lot of units going for this run-by. At the same time, though, he's got a counterattack, or, well, a second stage attack coming on in. All the Vipers, all the Hydras pushing on in. Gumiho has been forced off his 5th base, and now he's being forced off his 3rd. He's got a few tanks out, but it's not some massive Terran tank count. He's only got 5, and Rogue is abducting them every chance he can get. Gumiho will get some good tank shots off. However, an abduct and the lunge to try and get out of this situation.
Taking blue flame attack to the backside as they run out of here. Parasitic bomb on the Banshees is always very fun. Now suddenly 122 to 113 supply. Gumiho has a lead. He's burning down this hatchery pretty quickly. With the Cyclones especially. Hellions kind of bad at it, but with upgrades, surprisingly not too shabby. More and more Cyclones on the way, and a Fusion Core coming in.
Yeah, the Fusion Core, very exciting if Gumiho is potentially going to go into battle cruisers, although it could just be mass liberators. We'll have to wait and see. For now, the Terran player, he does have a ridiculous amount of Cyclone and Hellion, which he feels he can trade out with it. It's not doing too bad against all these Hydras as Rogue is fighting Hellions and Cyclones, but the Hellions are cooking up all the Hydras. There's no Roaches in this army to really tank for the Hydralisk, and so Gumiho actually takes a great trade with Hellions and Cyclones 15 minutes into the game. He's killed off Rogue's 5th. He's killing off his 6th base.
The worker count is 46 for Rogue. Gumiho!
GG. He takes the 3-0 just like that.
I mean, you called it. You said some questions about Rogue's current state, and yeah, well, there are some questions to be sure. Not quite the Rogue that we knew a couple years ago. So yeah, Gumiho. Proxy 3 racks, bam, bam, bam. Into a pretty nice little Mass Reaper into a follow-up with Marines play, and then he decides to go Battle Mech in Game 3 and goes 3-0 against Rogue. Nobody saw that coming. Have to imagine.
No, that really was a great series by Gumiho. Which means we have got our 2 finalists for this event, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be what should be a great best of 7 Terran versus Zerg. It will be Dark taking on Gumiho.
Yeah. We'll see if Dark plays Protoss or not.
That would be comical. There's quite a bit of money on the line for the finals, though, so I get the feeling he probably won't. But you never know with that man. So we'll find out in just a few minutes here. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back for our finals right after that.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it is time for the finals. It's going to be an awesome Terran versus Zerg between two players that are very much on point lately, Dark and Gumi.
Absolutely. It looks like we are getting a TVZ in game number 1 here. I know some people are asking. So yeah, Eldorado game number 1 here. Looks like we were able to figure out how to complete the mission here on the SOOP Live website. So that's very cool. Good work, Laughing Games.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone who did support the stream, well, support the players through the Gems mission. Sycon's just tuning in. Well, you tuned in at the right time, as we are having the finals right now. And taking it away in the bottom right, it is Dark.
And in the bottom left, the Taltaran Gumio. Do not underestimate this man. He just 3-0'd Rogue, everybody. In case you're just showing up, like Sycons, that's what he just did. He just dominated Rogue in a best of 5. We'll see how he does against Dark.
Yeah. Rogue is a monster Zerg, but his form was questionable. However, Dark is just an absolute Chad in Starcraft 2. So it's a different beast. I don't know if Gumiho's gonna bring out mech or anything like that against Dark.
I mean, he looked pretty good doing it in the last game. I don't see why he wouldn't give it a try in a best of 7.
Yeah, we'll see. Eldorado being Dark's map pick.
Yeah, he doesn't do the extractor trick 15 hatch thing, intriguingly. Just kind of goes 16. No, wait, that's a pool. What the heck? All right. Hold on a second. I missed that.
Maybe he watched Gumiho's back-to-back cheeses. He was like,
Yeah.
An early pool could be a good decision.
Unfortunately for him, this was not a good decision. There is no real early aggression coming at all.
No, and Gumiho has gone for a command center first.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
a
problem.
very great build for the Terran, because the CC is done by the time the Lings get across the map. And as long as the Terran makes like a Marine and pulls a few SCVs, they are fine against this.
Yeah, that command center first is a pretty safe build these days.
Yeah.
Maybe would have preferred a Reaper here, but Marine with some SCVs, also not a bad idea. So the Lings do bust up here into the natural base. Base is done, wall is up. That SCV on the low ground is probably dead, but that's about all we're going to get here for Dark. So the pool, not really worth it. You're not going to take this thing down. It's going to upgrade an orbital. It'll probably lift, but that's no grand victory for you at this point.
Yeah, Gumiho drops the mule on the orbital and then just lifts it up. Flying it all the way back to the ramp seems like a bit much, but he's taken this seriously, which I can't complain about. It is Dark. Gumiho has to make 2 Marines and a Hellion slowly, as Dark is waiting for him to potentially make the swap on the add-ons to run the Lings in. It's a classic Zerg trick. And so Gumiho does have to get some more firepower before he'll be able to make that swap. So that's a nice move by Dark, as it makes you uncomfortable as the Terran. You're like, what am I going to do with 1 Hellion? Now I got to wait for my 2nd and 3rd, but that's going to take forever. And Gumiho, he's actually just not going into Hellions. He's making Marines, getting a tech lab on the factory, so he'll be able to swap that over for a Banshee quickly, or make a siege tank.
Or both. Make a tank, then swap for a Banshee.
We shall see. What's it going to be, Gumiho? Okay.
Definitely going to be a Banshee.
Swapping for a tech lab, then maybe going into Hellions? I don't know. Okay.
Oh, building his own reactor. And then tech labbing the barracks. Wait, maybe. Get out of the way, Marines. You're blocking me.
There you go.
Okay. And then he builds racks on top of the other reactor. Some really complex swapping going on here from Gumio. And then he reactors up the starport. So it's going to be a lot of Marines, going to be medevacs. Gonna be stim. Viking to deny this really important scout that Dark really wants to get here. Nope.
Yeah.
Not even close. You do not know what this is.
Bet Dark's going to try and run a Ling in the front fairly soon as he knows he needs information. He does fire up 9 drones. He's got a Roach Warren on the way, but the clock is ticking as Gumiho. Oh man, he's probably even going to build a tank or two to go with this push. And just try and kill Dark off 2 bases is what he's setting up for.
Sure is. Yeah, that medevac production is continuing. Tons and tons of medevacs here for the healing, for the dropping, for the mobility, holding the zone like a watchtower. Roaches for Dark continuing to be produced here. Roaches with a +1 armor do pretty well in this situation. Dark's taken we'll call it a 4th base at the gold, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. As Zerg, I mean, defending the 3rd versus defending the 4th, they are so close together. So it's like kind of nice. You get the benefits of having that expansion building or done, but then you're really just defending 3 bases for the most part. The roaches being produced already gives Dark a lot of confidence against the first wave of drops that he's going to be facing. As long as they're in the right position, we do have a Spore Crawler and Queen's repositioning for Dark. His game sense is so good. Seeing these Medivacs boost by him, he may even get one. He does. There's a second Spore waiting inside the main base. He read Gumiho like a book. Now there's no Queens inside the main to get a final shot or 2 on this Medivac, but these Marines are going to be forced away. Beautiful start to the defense by Dark. And look at this. Now he's going to be able to saturate up that gold base and have a huge boost to his income, whereas Gumiho's pressure is mounting as he's still just on 2 bases and gonna need to try and kill Dark, basically.
Yeah, no sign of a 3rd command center here. Probably not a good idea. Does manage to unload out there on the creep, trying to kill some creep tumors. I guess. Yeah, there you go. Scanning, a couple tumors dying, coming into this 4th base. Drones do run for it. But the roach response should be pretty rapid here. A little bit of Queen help here as well. Siege tank getting 3 shots off while we're being buffered with the Marines and the landed Viking and the Hellions.
Yeah, the Queens
are stepping in. Yeah, losing a couple of Queens there, but getting some big transfuses off. Corrosive Bile helping to kill that tank. And Gumiho has got to fall back. Combat Shield finishing up. That's going to help a lot in this upcoming attack.
Yeah,
and here it comes. Yeah, just no 3rd base. Should continue to make Marines, make
he's pulling the boys.
Make medevacs. Yeah, I mean, at this point, can't really fault him. But Roach Ravager concave stuff here, dodging Corrosive Biles, the SCVs. Now this is how you pull the boys. And we pull the drones in response here. Absolute chaos. 13, 14, 15, 20 drones have died. 11 SCVs have gone down at the same time. Army value is favoring Dark a little bit, but it's Roaches and it's Ravagers, and there's still a ton of Marines here. Gumiho takes down the 4th base. Moving into the 3rd base. Workers 53 to 32 in favor of Dark, continuing to make Marines. That +1 Carapace upgrade just finished. That's going to help immensely against these Marines. Does he have enough to engage with it? The 2 siege tanks causing major hesitation here, but moving in anyway, focusing down the Ravagers is this little Marine group. Corrosive Biles not connecting onto the siege tanks, and Gumiho continuing to reinforce in.
Dark is trying to defend with everything he's got, but Gumiho, he's just pushing on in. He's still got 2 tanks alive. He's got enough SCVs still alive back at home to keep his production up. Dark has to pull drones into the fight once again, which is not a good feeling. He takes down the last of the siege tanks. The Roaches do have the upgrades, so he is able to take game number 1. But man, that was a nail biter.
Yeah, I mean, you can afford to lose a couple more drones at that end there if you're up 20 workers, which he was. Yeah, that was a big chunk there. He had a massive worker advantage. He held that first drop perfectly, and from there, it was Gumiho playing catch-up, and he wasn't able to do it, not against Dark. It was close. Gumiho made him work for it. He made him sweat. But at the end of the day, game 1 goes to Dark.
And that was so close, but the upgrades really helped Dark at the end there. The 1-1, as you said, is so strong for the Roaches.
Good stuff. Looks like we're just waiting on Gumio for the map pick here. Absolutely fantastic showing there. Good game one on both sides. I don't think anybody necessarily crazy dominated. Kind of came down to that first drop getting shut down and read by Dark, as you said. So,
Man,
looks like we're on Abyssal Reef for game number 2.
the Korean ladder is wild.
Yeah?
Like, the top player is Trigger, Canadian Protoss. And then sort of the Swedish Zerg, basically not the most relevant pro gamer in this day and age, is top 3 with like way more games than anyone else played.
Is sort of doing in 2025. That's crazy.
He's been streaming and stuff. He'll randomly play whatever the game of the month is too. Like, I know he played Stormgate and
Yeah, Battle Aces and stuff.
yeah, Age of Mythology and stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. That's great. Man, I remember casting sort of in 2015 when I started my channel, and just I always felt like he relied too heavily on Lings. Like, he really tried to win with Zergling too much. Which is funny because that's how I felt about Cyril too for a long time. 2014, 2015, I was like, man, this Cyril guy just tries to win in the mid game with like Ling counterattacks and run-bys, and it never works. And then sort of never figured it out, and Cyril did. And I don't know, maybe sort of is better now. Maybe he's actually improved. I hope so. Yeah, seeing TY in SSL would be rad. He's been playing Brood War recently.
Yeah, TY. Very fun player to watch.
Mm-hmm. Legendary.
All right, in the upper left, it's Gumiho on Abyssal Reef.
And in the bottom right, it's our Red Zerg player, Dark.
Oh man, Gumiho, you cheeky devil.
Can't let Dark get 5 bases laughing games. That's death
No,
for
you
me.
can't. I like how Gumiho picks Abyssal Reef as his map, and he's like, yes, this is my plan.
Been thinking about this for weeks.
No, he must be building just one proxy Rex. I'm gonna build another one at home? So Reapers, I'm guessing? Or just
Reapers
some
are
weird
fast.
Gumiho one proxy Rex like it's a TVP in 2017? Double gas. So maybe a factory right behind this, or a proxy factory?
Proxy Fac would be a lot of fun. I wouldn't say
Gumiho, you
no to
are
that.
weird, man.
Yes. Yes, he is.
You are weird and I support you.
I mean, yes, we need more weird in StarCraft, without a doubt.
Okay, is it a Marine? A Reaper?
Okay, Reaper, and then he goes home.
Okay.
What's the follow-up, man? Build something else, please. Here we go. And it's a... Nope, that doesn't count. Play depots don't
It's gonna
count.
be a factory, but one basing Terran against Zerg just does not compute.
Nope. Not so much. Got a fast Roach War in here from Dark, too. Is he going Ravager Rush? That actually might not be bad for Gumiho to one base against a Ravager Rush.
Yeah.
Reaper's going to get in and get a full scout off. KDH charge. Did he see the Roach Warren? Well, I mean, he should now. No, but seriously, scout the rest of the base, Gumiho.
Okay, I think he's seen it.
Yeah,
He
he
has.
sees it now. Yeah, okay.
The Reaper is able to kill off a drone and the one Ling. Second Reaper is on the way. However, the Lings are inside the main base and the factory is lifted off. Okay, it does successfully land as SCVs start fighting these Lings. Another depot has to get thrown down. Gumiho needs to get another SCV building that command center. Loses two. Yeah, seriously. Okay, there it goes. But the Roaches are now crossing the map. The Reapers are coming on home. And we're going to need to see a bunker or something from Gumiho. SCVs are fighting Lings and running all over the place.
I mean, Cyclone's going to help here, but it's not going to be the most amazing thing.
Yeah, fortunately the roach numbers are relatively low, so the Cyclone should be able to pick these off with time. And then there isn't a big Ling flood or anything behind this.
No. There's the Cyclone, and this is where the roaches are like, oh, okay, wow. Guess we'll try to kill something, but good luck. There is a Ravager here, so that, you know, can Corrosive Bile down the supply depots a little bit, force SCVs off the line to repair. Man, the micro here from Dark is so insane. This is why Dark is Dark, man. He'll beat you with 5 bases, he'll beat you with 2. That Cyclone control by Gumio is pretty awesome. Look at him coming down the ramp to engage here, trying to kill a siege tank, or a roach rather. Cyclone taking a lot of damage, but a roach dies. Once they get that other roach down, Ravager down. Nice hold right there. Those are injured Cyclones, but they're not dead.
Yeah, picking all those off is really, really nice for Gumiho. The Terran immediately throws up a third command center, going to be landing his barracks from across the map to complete the wall here. Dark, meanwhile, just getting up his third base. Ling speed on the way. Lots of Lings being produced.
Okay. Well, Gumio held the aggression.
I think he's in quite an alright spot.
Yeah, I'm feeling that way too. Medevac does get scouted. Double Cyclone getting get some stuff done. Banshee Cloak on to research on the other side of it. And yeah, Lings against Cyclones is pretty bad for the Cyclone. A lot of situations where Cyclones are just bad, but getting surrounded by a bunch of Speedlings is one of those things.
Gumiho manages to micro and find 2 Zergling kills.
I mean, a little bit of damage, always good.
Meanwhile, the two Cyclones make their way towards the natural and are able to grab 2 and a third drone. And he unloads, kills another Ling. Well done, Gumiho.
All right, man. What's the follow-up here? We know about the Cloak Banshees. Dude, double armory. The man is doing it again. Insane. Going mech. First against Rogue, now against Dark. Like, what other Terran player in the world has the guts to do this? Infernal Pre-Igniter getting fired up. It's going to be the same thing. Battle mech into probably some siege tanks later on.
Yeah.
We'll see how Dark handles it compared to how Rogue tried.
I mean, Rogue was handling it until he made the composition mistake of building too many Hydras and too few Roaches. So, I don't know. I still think this is going to be hard to pull off versus Dark, even though Dark is a little bit behind.
Dark's okay.
The international flag of mech.
Definitely. Hey, in case you were wondering, here's my barracks. Ooh, tunneling claws from Dark. All right. I go for some Burrow Roach shenanigans. I don't know what is killing drones back there. Banshees, my guess, on Dark's. Yeah, Cloak Banshees getting some
Banshees.
work done. Lings into the third base, try to see what's what, and the answer is, there's a base there, I guess. Ooh, getting that queen. Where is your spore? Oh, there's a spore. Okay. It's repositioning a little bit better there. I like that from Dark. Recognizing it wasn't in a great spot. 7 roaches in production. Is he trying for like a Burrow Roach trap against this? Because that does work. If you could get a Burrow Roach trap off against a battle mech composition, you can kill it pretty quick. Because their power is in speed, maneuverability, and kiting.
Oh, it's true.
And if you kind of pin them in place, they die pretty easy.
I really like it from Dark.
It's risky.
Man, I don't know if you've watched any of like the AI games for Starcraft 2, but burrowed roaches are the most OP things in the world.
You have like 3,000 APM, they sure are.
They're just literally a cockroach, unkillable.
Mm-hmm. And that's even with the nerf they got like 2 years ago.
Oh,
when
yeah.
burrowed roaches were so good in ZVZ that Blizzard was like, meh. Let's slow down that health regen when it's burrowed, buddy. So yeah, even with that nerf state, AI is really good with them.
Yeah, that makes me think Blizzard is so, like, knock them all you want for the, I don't know what you say, like, for, like, the non-mirror matchups, like TVZ, TVP, whatever. But they are so good at fixing mirror matchups for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that... I don't know that I've ever watched the Burrow Roach shenanigans in ZVZ and thought, boy, this sucks. Like, I always thought it was kind of entertaining to be like, what's killing drones over here? Oh, there's a one roach in Rainer's mineral line.
Yeah.
Right? That was fun. I don't think it, like, made the matchup bad.
I think it was just an over-prevalence of roaches, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay, Gumiho still meching away up to 3 Banshees with a Raven flying around the map. Then the 4th command center being secured for the Terran. This is Gumiho's map pick, so this may have been what he was planning all along. There's not a lot of room for Zerg to sprawl out on a map like this, which is how you counter mech. That planetary is building, mules are mining at it. Meanwhile, another command center about to complete, so Gumiho will be able to head up to 5 bases whenever he feels like it. And he is going to land that.
Mm-hmm.
Dark is going for a Spire.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. It's going to help against the Banshee. It's going to help against the Cyclone. It's going to be really amazing against the Hellions. That said, you can't underestimate the power of Cyclones here. I have seen fairly decent-sized Muta groups get obliterated by Cyclones. So, we'll see how many Mutas there are, how good the micro is, how good the target firing is. You can't just kind of assume you're going to crush them.
I mean, I'm thinking for potential Broodlords down the line as well. The Spire could be good.
Problem is, it's really... they're slow.
Oh, there's one
fast. There, this is the thing that Rogue did not do in the previous game, is this fungal, which is so cost efficient.
Yeah, that's like 1,000 resources for Gumiho just gone.
Yeah, for nothing. Again, slow it down, right?
Double Spire for Dark. So he builds another one. Auto turrets actually killing Overseer. Nice pick off by Gumiho.
And Overlord down too. Dark's not supply blocked. He's got a ton of available supply. The interference matrix on the way. You're gonna disable a queen? That's really your only target here. Maybe a Viper?
Yeah, or an Infestor potentially. We do have Dark surging forward against Gumiho's mech. This is the thing, if the Zerg can get on top of you, they will annihilate the fragile Cyclones and Hellions.
Yeah, the entire state of this is one of movement and kiting. The shark just go through.
It's right in front of the camera.
Yeah, classic shark on Abyssal Reef. It'll get you every time. So we'll see how Broodlords do. Like I was saying, they're slow.
Neural Parasite on a siege tank of Gumiho, all of a sudden shooting Gumiho's own mech army, then Dark kills it on the way out. We've got the Infestors still with lots of energy, a good fungal growth, hitting the Banshees, Parasitic Bomb hitting them as well. Gumiho is trying to push on in, but man oh man, Dark is so good with these spellcasters. More fungals going down. Gonna secure the last Banshee kill, as Dark is just holding the line, tossing out corrosive vials here, there, and everywhere. Fungal growth as well can come from that back line of Infestors, and it is not easy for Gumiho to push into Dark.
Yeah, and it's so much different when you are just fungaling these things to death. It changes everything about this battle mech strategy. Gumio looked so unstoppable in the previous mecha game we saw against Rogue, and Dark just throws out the green slime, and bam, everything changes. 122 to 97 army supply from Dark. Dark is engaging. Dark is hitting hard. He's fungling and following up. Dark's also making Corruptors. Probably going to see some Broodlords here. We'll see how they do. I don't feel great about it, though. I don't know if I like this choice.
I mean, like, there is no way that that Gumiho will be able to push in to Broodlords with just Cyclones. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you just go where they aren't, right? You just swing around to the other side of the map, pick off the hatchery there. The Broodlords go, wait for us. We'll be there in 4 minutes. And then you go somewhere else and kill another base. It's just they cannot engage.
Fungals catching quite a bit. Gumiho does kill off a base of Dark, but the thing is, like, these bases are all so close. Broodlords are really going to help defend, like, these core bases.
Yeah.
Outer bases, sure, Gumiho can pick off, but Dark does not have to worry about dying against this. Or he may just be using them for a big push as he moves forward. Has to pivot, though, as Gumiho does make his way the long way around Abyssal Reef.
Yeah. 5 drones getting sniped from the low ground. Army shows up. Another fungal is going to hit you guys. Bam! Corrosive Bile's getting some good connections there, too. Anti-armor missile goes down on the Zerg. Neural Parasite on 1-2 of the Cyclones. I think a Hellion got Neural Parasited for some reason. The Broodlords are just like, forget it. We move on our own to the other side of the map. Good luck stopping us.
Gumiho is panic building 5 Thors right now. He's like, oh, right. Cyclones don't kill Broodlords. And while Dark was under a lot of pressure there, he's suddenly turned this around. Gumiho is a Terran player that's on 6 bases, but has basically no army, as everything has just been killed. Dark is targeting down the SCVs that are trying to repair this. Gumiho is building 9 Thors at a time.
All right, man. Thors are really good against these Broodlords.
Yeah, the problem is the mass Ravagers and Roaches on the ground are going to be able to gobble up these individual Thors, and Gumiho, he doesn't have any Hellbats, he doesn't have any Cyclones anymore to help buffer for these Thors. He needs to be building something else to support these. There's the Thors out, but Dark knows that the Terran is low on supply. He's pushing on in. There is like 6 Thors out, which is a darn scary army. In goes Dark. Corrosive Bile's getting dropped. Thors are bunched up, heating Corrosive Biles. SCVs were pulled into the fight to help, but it's not enough. GG. Dark knows how to dismantle a meching Terran.
Yeah, see, this is why we don't see mech very much in Starcraft 2. Because the games like that one, where it just looks untenable. It looks like Dark can easily handle it, and he did. It looked easy because it was easy for him. Very, very clear path. He followed it. He got the great fungals off. He went into the Broodlords later, and everything worked out in the end. So, GG by Dark. Lost a couple hatcheries, did lose some stuff to Hyperflight, Rotor, Banshees, which is annoying. But once the fungals started coming out, once you slow down that mech army, things go so much better for you. Woof. All right, we're back on ley lines. Getting Gumio into the lobby, and then we'll kick you out here to game number 3 of this best of 7. Dark's looked pretty good so far. I wonder if Gumio is maybe going to commit to more of an early proxy attack compared to the last one.
Yeah. More of a commitment as far as a proxy goes. I don't know. Maybe I'd like to see a conventional bio game out of Gumiho. I mean, he did go for that push in game number 1.
But other than that, yeah, he's kind of been all over the place.
Okay, in the bottom left, it's Dark.
Top right, Gumio.
Gumi God.
Gumi God.
Okay, low ground wall off, so maybe some Reapers.
Alrighty then, Dark. Drone. No pool yet. Not drone scouting. Using Overlords to try to find proxies. That's always a crapshoot, though. There's no guarantee that Overlord's going to find anything of importance.
Nope.
Plenty of game has been lost because your Overlord did not see the proxies. So, 2 racks opening. Feels Reapers to me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The one good thing for Dark is that he didn't faff about with his Overlord too much, so it will reveal that it's 2 racks Reaper a little bit sooner. Not that it's the biggest timing difference in the world compared to what we saw with Rogue, but it's something.
Yeah, 100%. Again, in a game like this, seconds can matter a lot.
Oh, they definitely do. And there's the scout by Dark, so he knows.
Yeah, I feel like it was Byun who popularized this. This whole little 2 racks Reaper opening just puts a little extra pressure on the Zerg. You can expand behind it. It's pretty safe from counterattacks. Really kind of throws Zergs off their groove, but it's been happening so much that I'm not sure Dark's going to be too bothered by it.
No, like, I don't think it's the most threatening build in the world for Zerg to deal with.
No. It was at first. It really messed up a lot of Zerg players.
Oh, yeah. It's because it's that, like, it's that fake out sort of thing. It's like, oh, he's 5 racks Reapering me. It's like, no, it's just 2 racks, and I'm going to build a 3rd CC right away.
Right. And I'm going to kill a couple extra lings, maybe even a drone with these extra Reapers. Going to be a bad time for... Hey, it's more bots! Somebody's been watching the Laughing Games bots videos. Yeah.
More
great.
bots.
More bots is here, saying more bots. As Laughing Games instructed him to. Alright. Bam! KD8 charge connecting. Killing these queens. Probably do it against a lesser Zerg player, but Dark is just not going to allow this.
Yeah, Dark is... He hasn't lost a single ling against this opening yet. That is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that is top 5 player in the world type control against this. So... You might get your wish here. That's a stim from Gumio.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. Playing it pretty normal. Reapers being active. Reapers are like Mutalisks and like Zerglings to a certain extent.
Dark is so good.
This trap is amazing. Oh gosh. KD8 charges are your only hope, friends. And also, ledges are pretty good too.
Oh god.
They are super trapped now. Oh, how did he juke that? That was incredible.
Yeah,
this is how it feels when I try to kill Reapers on the map.
It just feels like they're covered in butter and...
Yeah.
Okay,
slip right through my like 40 lings, just whoop. Got him. There we go. Yeah, not easy to do that either. But Dark is currently Dark, as far as I can tell. No questions about his form.
Yeah, his
Cleanliness
form
on the way from Dark.
Great.
Tim finishing. Combat Shield getting fired up by Gumio on the next round. 3 bases, probably good enough to deal with this. 14 lings, extra queens. 16 lings, extra queens.
Look at this timing. This is just stimmed Marines. There's no Combat Shield, no Medivacs in sight.
Nope. No Marauders, no nothing. No Banshees, no Liberators. Just Marines, just here to ruin your day.
18 Stim Marines out on the map, but Gumio is gonna, I think, decide wiser.
He's going home?
As Dark was ready for that. Like, he had 5 queens on the front lines, 24 lings. More than enough to defend it, so... That's a mature decision by Gumio. If that was me, I would have gone for it anyway, lost all my Marines, and then died in the counterattack, so...
Yeah, Medivacs are on the way. He doesn't feel great about every time he stims that HP is never coming back.
No. I mean...
Oh, and a siege tank.
Gumio can't feel great this game at all. Like, he opened 3 Reapers. He didn't get a single thing. He just went for a move out. There was no opportunity. Trying to make a play against Dark is just so difficult. We do have 2 medivacs with this now, so Marines are able to step onto that creep. The scan goes down. This is too many Marines for these medivacs, though, so if Dark does decide to engage this, Gumiho will at least be losing some of these units. The Terran player, yeah, he's just got to load on up. And, he doesn't snipe down all the Banelings. Still, he gets it with most of the Marines, but that was... Oh, man, that was a lot of dead Marines, like 14 for nothing.
Yeah, I didn't have enough... Yeah, I didn't have enough room inside the medivacs to evacuate everyone, and, oh, gosh. Queen positioning is so mean there from Dark.
Dark's positioning is phenomenal, and the way he's been playing this match out has really just set him up to have an incredible lead, taking no damage. Gumiho committed to the early racks, to the early Reapers, and like Gumiho's just building his 3rd command center now at 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's insanely late. Dark's getting burrow for some reason, along with his lair. Like a burrowed Baneling trap connection would be so good today. The Lings, just being so active. They're everywhere. You want to unload their high ground, their low ground. Oh, reinforcing Marines show up here. Siege tank sieges up. Iron on creep tumors on the high ground here. Centrifugal hooks getting started, but not going to be here for a minute. Going to have to be Lings and slow Banes with a Carapace upgrade, possibly finishing sometime soon, canceling a hatch. And Dark's going for a bit of a Baneling bust counterattack on the other side. I think, he can hold this. And a Baneling bust at that natural would be incredibly crushing here.
Yeah, there's not much to kill at the 3rd for Gumiho, so Dark will have to go all the way to the natural if he wants to get anything done with those Lings. For now, though, he is just cleaning up everything on the front lines. There's the tanks and the Liberators, which have held this position for Gumiho, but it's really not that much Terran at this point in the match.
No. 3rd base getting saturated. I wonder if Gumiho... Oh, he goes for it.
Okay.
He's trying to pin the guys in place, get some Baneling connections. Banelings are slow. No, absolutely not. Gumiho defending that 3rd base very smartly.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal defense. That was not the opportunity Dark wanted. It's like he has some Lings underground. They're not Banelings, just regular Lings. They're going to unburrow and try to run towards that 3rd base. Or the natural. Does Gumiho raise the wall? No, he doesn't. Dark is inside. He goes not just into the natural, into the main base. Gumiho has to stim and pull back, but that is an absolute death blow to the Terran as Gumiho is going to lose all his SCVs.
Oh no. Yeah, Lings are going to town inside that main base. Dark is getting hit on the counterattack by Gumiho. He just needs to hold it though, and he should be fine. God, tank pops out of a factory, dead. 3rd base, ghost town. Centrifugal hooks is done. +1 melee and +1 carapace for these Lings and Banes is done. Just got to be very patient. He's expanding up the left side too. He's not even worried about that base that just got killed.
Oh my
Lings
gosh.
SCVs, fight for your lives.
Oh, they burrow and they unburrow. Such a nuisance. Gumiho is pushing on in. He's got the siege tanks en masse. He's going to need great tank shots on the Banelings, but he's very far forward with this army, and he has no choice but to load into the medivacs. That's going to leave these tanks being vulnerable. Although he does unload, he is getting off some good tank shots. Dark still has so many Banelings, though, and time is absolutely on the Zerg player's side.
Yeah, the longer this goes, the worse it is for Gumiho. There's no question about it. Yeah, +2 Carapace coming in. Not quite enough to jump on this yet for Dark, but he's making 34 Lings at a time. Banelings trying to connect. That creep spread is getting reduced. 3rd base still doesn't exist for Gumiho here. He's just reinforcing across the map. That tank is dead. And I think once the tanks are gone, pretty much all the value here is toast. And that's it. GG Dark. 3-0 lead in our best of 7. Gumiho is playing pretty well, but Dark is just shutting down everything Gumiho tries to do.
Yeah. There's not a lot of mistakes you could make against Dark.
No, and it's got to be so demoralizing too, right? You have a build, you've practiced it, you're really solid with it. Everything feels great when you're making your practice runs and against other players, and then you show up and attempt it against Dark, and he's like, no, and just kind of like slaps your hand away.
That's pretty much what Dark said. Like, nope. That's actually hilarious that that guy's username is more bots.
Oh.
Good to see you made an account.
Yeah. That's very good. All right, Gumio's considering what map he would like for game number 4 here. The first 3 have not gone his way. He's gotten some good hits off, not just getting pummeled. Woo! Excuse me there, I had to mute and sneeze. Allergic to Starcraft today, apparently.
Okay. Ultra Love.
Right.
Will be
Ultra Love.
our next match.
Phoenix wants to make a new account with the name Less Bots. You can feud with more bots.
Fewer bots. Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to the SOOP Starcraft Global number 12. We do these events bi-weekly. If you're just tuning into this for the first time, go ahead and make a SOOP account, as that does, I mean, they're sponsoring these events for a reason, and we'd like to keep them going, so. Alright, just making sure everyone's ready before we load into the next match.
Yeah, Dark's ready, Gumio's ready, let's rock. Ultra Love, a pretty good macro map. Not that we haven't seen some kind of 2-base all-ins or proxies out here. It's not impossible.
Warbot saying, bring it.
Yes. 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 People can draw battle lines. They can say who they support publicly.
All right, here we are going into game number 4. This man has a commanding lead. It's Dark.
And in the bottom left, the Towel Terran, trying to think, how do we approach this?
Well, the answer is to try and proxy, because I'm down 0-3.
Mm-hmm. But again, I mean, we're looking at 1 SCV. Nope, he's sending 2 out. Never mind.
We might even get a third one.
He could. We'll see what this boy does. He sits. He sits. He sits.
No third.
He goes the other
come
way.
on, Gumio. Coward.
Oh, no. If you're going to proxy racks, make 3 racks. Come on.
Half measures are for cowards. Come on. Okay, so Gumiho, he's got his 2 racks proxied on the other side of the map. He's already got his 1 gas being taken for a follow-up. So it's not just going to be Marines. He's actually going to be building Reapers out of these, I think. Because, like, double gas behind this. This is way too early for the extra gases. Crazy. And this is a cool variation by the Terran player. It's like, usually these days, if a Terran proxies out on the map, it's gonna be just Marines, whereas if the Terran builds the racks at home, it's Reapers. So Gumiho is changing it up.
I like it. Good man Gumio mixing things up for us in 2025. Always a big fan.
And there's that first Reaper. Dark is gonna know as soon as this Reaper hits, as he has to frantically micro his drones to keep them alive. Grenade gets tossed on down, sends some flying. Gumiho targets the one in the gas, which is a harder one for the Zerg to micro, but beautiful micro by Dark. Actually makes a spine crawler, not just a spore, so maybe wanting that spine for later on. The Reaper's already taking some damage as it has to micro back against those Lings. Dark is so close to getting it in. He surrounds the other Reaper, but his friend saves him. Man, that is close for Gumiho, as his Reapers...
Yeah,
so
just that was insane micro. Mm-hmm. Wow.
No! Oh my gosh.
Everyone's alive. Go combat drugs. Yeah, that Reaper was pinned. That Reaper was pinned, and his buddy's like, "I got you."
Yeah, that's an action movie save right there. Now, the Reapers for Gumiho are pushing into the front. There is the Spine Crawler that's building. Gumiho wants to get some damage done with these Reapers. He's going to try and elect to fight the Queen, but as soon as that Spine's burrowed, he's going to have to get on out of here, as Reapers cannot fight a Spine Crawler unless you have, like, 8 or something like that. So that means Dark really just needs to focus on holding this high ground. Gumiho is making a factory behind this, has a command center building back at home, building a reactor on it for some potential...
I mean, Hellion follow-up?
Yeah, something like that. Using the racks to give himself high ground so he can skirmish against the Lynx is a very cool play by the Terran player. He can drop grenades on the cliff as he jumps up. So this racks definitely does help him take that engagement, as it prevents the Lynx from being right against that cliff.
And if they're worried about the barracks, they're not worried about the Reapers as much. That's kind of smart. Speedlings on creep on that high ground, though, is extremely scary.
Yeah, he does lose one Reaper to a quick surround by the Lynx. The 3 Queens are actually damaging down the racks fairly fast. So that's going to start burning, I believe. Just barely not burning.
That is very close, yeah. I want to say 3:30, maybe it starts burning.
Yeah, I'm guessing like at a third or something. 333.
Yeah, 333 possibly. Yeah, that would make sense. I wonder if that's in Team Liquid. Do you think Liquipedia has that? Like, when exactly
I bet it
Terran
does.
buildings start burning?
There's probably a page.
Terran building.
Gumiho starts a fusion core as well, by the way. However, Dark sees this with his Overlord as the Terran is out on the map with his Reapers and his Hellions, catches quite a few of the Lings of Dark, and Dark's economy is rather low. What? As Gumiho pushes on in, he's got to be so careful as Dark is going for a surround with the Lings. Grenades are getting tossed on down, but Gumiho pauses the micro for a second, allowing Dark to get a good surround. Some grenades do get connections. It's an okay trade for the Reapers and Hellions, but Zerg can replace their Lings a lot faster than the Terran can replace these Hellions and Reapers. So Gumiho loses those units. He had a lot of potential if he microed that a little bit nicer, but he did not. Now Dark is out on the map with 33 Lings, and there's no wall at the natural for the Terran player. This is very scary for Gumiho. Dark is coming on in. Lings breaking the natural. Hellions can micro back, but there's mining being lost at the natural already, and Gumiho is in a world of trouble. He's got a battle cruiser that's building, but he's not going to have any SCVs. GG.
Oh, Dark is a monster. I don't know what else to say here. I feel like Gumiho had good plans. He had good execution in all 4 of these games. He didn't just lay down.
Yeah.
He was fighting hard, and Dark was just like, I'm just going to be prepared for everything.
Yeah, that really was a great game by Dark through and through. No holes in his play for the most part.
Not that I can think of. I'm trying to think of anything he just kind of messed up with as far as decision-making goes. Execution, a couple little slip-ups here and there, but it's hard to be perfectly sound on that the whole time. Yeah, I actually looked it up. Fire is 1/3 of the health, Phoenix. So, Laughing Games was right. 333 would have done it. Very close to burning. Yeah, congratulations to Dark getting the win. Impressive stuff from him. Just overall, a really, really fun event here today. We had so much off racing in that first series. Tons of fun. We had the surprise, just 3-0 running of Gumiho in the second series against Rogue. And then Dark showed up, and that was a good time. All right.
It really was. Dark dominating. It's just so comical how this event started with him almost being knocked out by off racing. And then he wins the whole thing.
Good stuff, man. Not the first time or last time Dark's going to win something like this.
No, definitely not. And we'll probably have him back. I think we are aiming for a European event for the next one, most likely. So that could be cool to see. And yeah, we'll let you guys know. Check out Falcon Paladin and myself on YouTube, on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, as we both post lots of StarCraft content. And We also announced these events on there, so it's a good way to stay in the loop.
Definitely. So we'll see you in a couple weeks, probably, and prepare for that.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.